Sludge Fist. Like, if you had to get everybody topped on Sludge Fist right before a hit, this is kind of that in terms of how much the healers have to press to be able to actually get players topped right before that hit happens.
Yeah, and also, like we've talked about on some fights, like Stick Spunk Junker, the pass-fail kind of mechanic.
Yeah.
And it feels like that's what the fourth set of the cages are, or the goons. Is like, it's almost like pass-fail. Like, if anybody dies when they're trying to soak, then it's going to troll one of the cages, the goon will enrage, and just ends the fight. It's so brutal.
I mean, again, just the raw HPS required to heal through that section of the fight, making sure everyone's topped for when the cages spawn, that's the hardest part of the fight for them right now. They just need to live through that, and we can see another really low wipe, or just perhaps a kill, because they've been optimizing their damage like crazy over the past 24 hours, and you can see on our other monitor here, they're getting ready to pull. They're kind of starting to position to get back on this boss. And we all know, Liquid's been a big fan of the post-dinner buff. They use that food buff to their advantage.
Yeah, ready check looked like it went up, and I think everybody clicked ready.
Yips was AFK or hit no.
Oh.
We saw him walking around in Fired Up's background. He's doing something.
He might be getting a new computer, it looks like, maybe in the back. Oh, no, pull timer's out.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
Maybe Yips is ready now.
All right, some Mug Zed coming in.
No.
Yeah, I think this dies during this shift. That's what I'm going to call.
4.
So in the next, like, 4 hours.
You're from Utah.
Dies tonight.
It's not Zed.
Boss
Zed?
dies tonight.
No.
Boss dies tonight. Can we get some boss dies tonight in chat? Also, watch your feet. Did this? I mean, I wanted to say only 130 pulls in, 140 pulls. I think just going back to last tier, there were so many like 200, 300 pull bosses that 140 makes it seem like this fight's easy compared to those, but it is definitely not easy. I mean, it can go wrong so quickly. Any one of these mine soaks, any double soaking of the mines themselves is pretty much game over.
I think on a technical level, this is as difficult as Nexus Princess Kaiveza, except for the fact that you don't have to be sacking your tank over and over again.
Yeah.
You're not gambling the pull, basically. But I think on a technical level, it is similar difficulty.
Yeah, it's definitely up there, right? The dance is pretty much the same as that fight in that there's a very unique positioning for every single mechanic in the fight. Everyone has to know exactly where they need to go if they get targeted by something. And Phase 1, it seems like they've got down pretty much down pat for most of their pulls. The only spot I see them having most of their issues is when they have to soak crawler mines. That just seems like kind of one of the most overloaded portions of the fight, regardless of where they spawn.
Yes.
Of course, it gets more and more difficult as you move onwards, getting one extra mine every time. But it's still just so much raw damage on the raid, which is crazy for them to still sometimes wipe to, considering their 5 healing.
Yeah, I am shocked that a healer never came out. I mean, I guess it makes sense having seen the whole fight.
Well,
like, even with 5 healers, how hard it is.
They tried.
Yeah.
They tried to 4-heal this fight for hours, and then they were like, well, it's not possible. Right now, at least.
It's just, the damage is... I can't wait till we get there. It's brutal if you haven't seen it. I don't think I've seen like a 30-second stretch of raid damage like that, at least in a long time.
It's there's a lot that's actually going on in this fight from like a technical and strategic level as well. So as you can see on the bottom of the screen here, there's an energy bar that's filling up. You have to swap sides with your entire raid. All 20 players have to swap to opposite sides to be able to change which phase Mugsy's in, whether it be the dirt or the metal phase. That's kind of what we're calling it. And then that has different mechanics that activate. The primary mechanic on this fight, and I think the one that's the most notable, are the Goon cages. And you have to kill the mobs that are inside the Goon cages, the Galagio Goons. For, the intended strategy is to use either mines or the icicles to be able to actually break the walls of the cage. However, Liquid is using Void Elves and Monk Transcendence and Warlock ports and alter times to be able to actually get out of those cages to where you actually don't have to maintain, just be in there the entire time. Instead, you're going to be able to just like hop in, kill the mob off, and then transcend out. And so that's what they're doing. That way they're not stuck in that cage for 20 seconds waiting on those icicles to spawn.
Yeah, and they've been doing a good job of it. We saw it in early pulls where people weren't quite used to actually getting out of the cages. Sometimes you would just be stranded inside of there, just taking ground AoE damage from that ground effect until it got broken out by one of the icicles. But a lot of players ended up going down to that, so they just realized there's no way we can have people just sitting in these cages at all. So that's why we saw this comp that is likely going to be the kill comp. I don't foresee any changes being made, especially after having a 1.9% wipe. But you can see once again, cages going out. There's only 3 people in each of those cages. And I'm pretty sure one of them was a mage, so he's going to be leaving that cage quite soon as well.
So what we can see on fired up screen here, so these Galagio Goon cages, they actually have a smoke bomb style effect. But if you caught this, it's like very, very difficult to even tell what's going on. Fired Up actually had Ignite on both these Galagio Goons. If you PvP'd a bunch, you would understand how this works. But basically, you can build Ignite on targets that are inside a smoke bomb if you're attacking a target outside the smoke bomb. Now, the asterisk on this is if you had Ignite on them first. And so what the mages are doing is they're using Alter Time in a very unused talent called Displacement to be able to blink around inside these cages and try to pre-apply Ignite to all these Galagio Goons and then get out of the cage and then start basically combusting on the boss to be able to build Ignite through the walls.
Yes,
Yeah.
very clever.
And I mean, it's one of the reasons that they only have to send 2 or 3 players inside each of the cages, right? They're literally just trying to push boss damage as much as possible, all leading up to this final push here. This is the last energy bar they want to have on the boss in Phase 1, but they also are trying to milk this as much as possible. They want that in Ragecast.
Oh, missed the soak!
Unfortunate. Yeah, missing a soak is pretty much an instant wipe at this point, because the damage going out from the crawler mines is just too high. The healing absorbs are affecting the healers too much there. Any extra damage cannot happen. And that's what we were talking about at the start of the poll, right? Those crawler mines are really the only part of P1 that's an issue for them.
Yeah, the Goon cages they've gotten down, that could sometimes be an issue, but you know, all their clever uses of porting, and you know, now they know exactly who's going to everyone. They've got a weak aura to assign everything.
I think
They've
Fire
got
Up has
that
a
down,
note
like,
even.
yeah, he has like an alter displacement, like double blink kind of note. It's the only cage set that's an issue is the last set, which has 4 of them.
Chat, I need you guys to listen to me for a second here. This boss is going to be dying anytime. It can literally die anytime in the next couple of hours. And the last thing you want to have happen to you is to have an ad autoplay in your face when the boss is sub 10%. You will miss the kill. So how can you dodge that? Check that subscribe button underneath the stream. See if you got a Prime available. If you do, you aren't going to get any of those ads for the next month. Because we might be here for the next
Yeah.
titles. That last boss might take forever.
That's true. You might have a 450 pull Gallywix ahead of you, which means that we would at least have 4 to 5 more days of the race to World First.
Yeah, a lot of unknowns with Gallywix. Basically, the entire fight's unknown, so it could be simple or it could be chaos, and I think it's going to go chaos the way the rest of this raid's gone.
So
they've gotten tuning to a place where nothing is ever undertuned anymore, it feels like.
Yeah. So that last wipe, that happened due to the mine soaks. The mine soaks, I think, are by far the hardest part of this fight. A lot of it actually comes down to the fact that the mines, whenever you soak them, they first off do a large amount of AoE, but that's actually not even the most dangerous part, although that is kind of difficult. The biggest problem is that the soaks that come out of them spawn within a 30-yard radius of the mines, and they land within 2 seconds. And so it's very rare that the person who popped the mine is then able to run over and get their soak because of just how far those soaks are away from the mine. They also spawn 2 per mine soak, and so again, you have to really have your head on a swivel. You're looking around. The monks and Shakib on that Demon Hunter, they are basically just like spinning their camera around the room to try to see if any of those soaks are going to get missed, and then they try to roll into them or like fell rush into them last second.
Yeah, I love watching Shakib's POV during the soaks. He's had so many clutch fell rushes.
That guy is a hero, for sure.
All those melee, all those hypermobile maybe are just rolling around, just getting everything they can in melee range. Do you notice something about THG's character here? His HP starts with a 10.
That's a
He's
lot
big
of health.
boy.
What the hell?
Oh yeah, I wanted to bring this up earlier. As part of the nerfs, kind of, is everybody got another spark today.
That also
Oh,
did happen,
yeah, that did happen. Yeah, congratulations to everybody who didn't craft earlier. Now you can actually craft a 2-handed weapon at a crest discount.
That's me.
Congratulations to you. Congratulations to Cams.
Yeah, unfortunate that the Raiders, I think, ripped their crafts like yesterday or something.
So all of them actually ended up upgrading 636 items from last tier and they used the free heroic crest that they got from like the campaign to be able to upgrade that piece of gear. What was it, 660?
658 is the
658?
max
Okay.
ruined item. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because they're probably out of a mythic crest.
Oh, they're out of crest. So they're probably
Yeah.
out
All
of
their
crest.
guilds, yeah.
So they have to actually use that free one that they got from the Gallywix campaign. So we saw them doing that like that happened like frame 1 of today, and so that was the first thing that they did. Then the authentication servers went down. That was a little bit weird.
If you're wondering what the hell we're talking about, so there was an exploit earlier this week that allowed people to get 2 sparks this week, this was not intended by Blizzard. However, they decided to add a catch-up for everyone in the game that did not do the exploit because they didn't want anybody to be ahead by half a spark.
I mean, you call it an exploit. I think it's just like a really bad oversight on Blizzard.
Sure.
It's like a pretty bad bug where if you didn't complete the turn-in on the quest, then you ended up getting the half spark this reset, and then you turned in the quest, and then you went and did the weekly that would give you the additional half spark. If you did it in like a very specific order, which it was possible to do it on accident, then you would have actually gotten a bonus spark.
I wonder why they didn't roll back somehow. Maybe it's too difficult to do that.
Know, man.
Probably too difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, it did give them a nice little power boost, which they definitely needed on this fight.
Anybody who crafted a two-hander, they just like, what, take it out of your inventory and then give you...
Yeah, I guess the crafting, the rolling, yeah, that would be too hard.
I don't agree that it was too easy, kind of easy to do by accident. You had to do a very specific thing. I almost did it as well, but like you had to like craft a spark before you got the free spark from the quest, which would have been like really weird to do. Because most people would have made it last week.
Well, yeah, I mean, for me, it was like I almost did it because I went to go kill the world bosses as part of the World Soul event thing.
Okay.
And then if I would have gotten the half spark from there, I would have accidentally have done it. Which, you know, it was definitely possible to do on accident. And that's kind of how I view the difference between like exploits and bugs is like
sure, that makes sense.
How it's like also kind of how unintended is it? What do you get from it? And could you accidentally do this? And it happened.
Yeah. Either way, outcome is that if you go down to the catalyst there should be a new quest for you that'll just give you another free half of a spark. So go grab that, get your second spark, craft a second item, enjoy life. You've got 2 new embellishments with Season 2 gear, and all of the raiders at Liquid and Echo and Method do now too. So the power level of the characters is a little bit higher, and they'll have a little bit more damage to take down this boss. Still 2% to go though, but like we've talked about, like they have the damage to kill the boss. It's just going to require a very clean transition into Phase 2 and almost perfect play in that last phase, because that damage just ramps up insane near the end of the fight. They can't reset those Moxie stacks anymore, and even with the nerf to the boss not getting Moxies during the intermission, by the end of Phase 2, the boss is up to like 40 stacks still.
This boss is barely killable, but it's doable.
Yeah. Yeah, they only had a couple people dead on the 2%. You know, everybody alive, obviously, boss would be dead. But having everybody live to that, like, up to, like, the last 10 seconds, that's maybe where they can start losing people. But then there's not as many mechanics. Just getting to there with everybody alive is crazy. Like, there's always some tiny little thing that, like, someone, a mine gets popped and it just takes someone out.
Fired Up actually missed his displacement here. He's actually not able to spread Ignite on this Galaccio Goon that's on the right side. And I mean, look at how high it is compared to the one that was on the left side that actually was able to get his Ignite. Ooh, that might be tough. That might end up causing that Goon to empower and end up wiping them depending on the kill time. You have to be able to get that kill off within 30 seconds.
They got it.
THD finished that guy off.
THD shadow burned that guy to death. Very good THD.
Great word, THD.
Yeah, he might have been a little mad. I think he's
Where's Shakib?
not happy.
Where is Shakib?
Shakib is dead. Oh, he's stuck in the cage.
He got stuck in there.
Wait, he must have just maybe
missed
both
his
of them.
VR?
Yeah, because he can get out of there just on his own as a demon hunter. So maybe, or maybe it was like close to not dying. Its same as the one on the right.
So how Havoc Demon Hunter gets out of there? Most people are using Transcendence Reports. Havoc Demon Hunter can double jump Vengeful Retreat to get a little bit more height to be able to go over the top of the cage wall. It's crazy.
Yeah, it kind of sucks because, oh well, they're going to be wiping anyways, but he's line of sight from reses. He's just in there.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, that's the problem with this fight. We saw there was a really good pull that we thought that they were going to kill the boss on, but Dryny ended up dying inside of the cage, and they had a battle res available for him, but they couldn't get him rezzed, so it was completely over the moment that Dryny died. Very unfortunate.
Yeah, so just going to run it back.
Go again.
Just go again. That's the best thing you can do is just go again.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, very little needs to be talked about for the guild. They've seen everything. They know when the cooldowns are being popped. It's just a matter of executing, and that just kind of goes to show you how difficult the level of execution is on this boss. I mean, I already think Muggsy alone is more difficult than Silken Court was last tier, which is pretty surprising considering what we thought of that boss going into the tier, but it turned out to be quite easy once they figured it out. The execution was a quite simple execution check. This boss, it looks like it's a difficult execution check and a ridiculous Phase 2 DPS check. Remember, the number is 2.2 million single target DPS they have to do once they start the intermission, and then they have 110 seconds actually to kill the boss because that final enrage is a 10-second cast.
Yeah. This fight also has a nuts comp check. Which,
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's not even necessarily about class stacking, but you either have to be a Void Elf. Like there's a couple of specializations that can save you if you're getting trapped in the Goon cage, and you don't have the ability to be able to escape. Say you're like a hunter or whatever, and those are a pre-rescue, and so you have to have like a frame perfect rescue, or a pre-life grip. You have to have a frame perfect life grip. Now, Suri and Sang do a great job of making sure that those players aren't getting stuck in those Goon cages, but it's not great if you're a player like Malarcus who's on this hunter here who doesn't have the ability to be able to get out.
Or a Shadow Priest who's just not in on the fight at all.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's why you don't play Shadow, right?
Yep.
Because you can't have too many specializations that can't get out.
Yeah, I mean, going into this fight, I thought I'd choose Shadow Priest just because it was kind of known that the end is going to be the hard part, and it's an execute, and Shadow is strong in this tier and an execute class, but it doesn't make sense with this kind of positional teleport requirement.
Yeah. I think if you lobbed a healer and brought in another DPS, it would be a Windwalker, Monk, or a Warlock almost certainly.
Yeah. No, I think you're 100% right. I think I'd obviously be leaning more towards Windwalker, just because Windwalker is the main character this tier.
Oh my god, this is so...
We're live, though. It was the last one of the phase, or of that particular set of mines, and the healers doing a good job keeping everyone topped, so
yeah,
they barely were able to live, but still not ideal.
Bro, Nick's trying to DPS on pull, and now he's got to actually heal because people just took a mine.
All good.
There's something interesting they're doing, like we were brought up earlier on this fight. When you switch sides, the boss changes phases.
Yeah.
And so you can see their Malark is just like on the line. It requires the whole raid to be over, so he's just going to sit there, and then like at that 98 energy, he steps over and triggers this transition.
Yeah, because so part of this mechanic, if you've done this fight on like normal or heroic, is whenever more than half of your raiders jump over the line, then it triggers the phase change. Now on Mythic, it is all 20 players, so they're trying to milk that as long as they possibly can, and that's going to yield them like basically a perfect phase 1 push. But it's kind of tight, especially like the damage check in phase 1, especially since they've effectively pulled off their second set of, or their third set of 2 minutes from the 4 minutes, and they're moving it to like 5:15 or something like that. And so they basically have no 2-minute CDs to be able to push the boss in time.
Yeah, they're doing a good job so far this pull. Again, it's the mines that we're really worried about here. Looks like they're positioning the boss here to take out both of the shields on these two electroshockers. One of the mythic mechanics, if you haven't like tuned into the fight, the only way to actually make these bots killable is by hitting them with the finger guns from the boss. You can see they've done that just now, and of course, we'll actually be able to clean that one down with Havoc pretty easily. It's taking very highly increased damage now that it's been broken out of that shield. But yeah, I mean, 8 mines. This is the hardest this is the hardest part of the fight. It's not in phase 2 right now. Let's see if they're able to do the mines cleanly this time around.
I think the mines and how many mines you get, and the fact that you have to do these soaks is by far the hardest part of this fight.
Yeah, because they have to stagger soak the mines, and the mines they'll spawn near the boss, but it's a random which one spawns, so you can't just be like go clockwise or something like that. Dude. I'm sure they have some rule, but it's just the chaos of it all.
They got all those soaks so super quickly, and I think that the intended strategy is actually just to leave a bunch of these mines like caught in like a mass root or a landslide or something like that, and then just like break them one by one. But Liquid very rarely uses them for anything other than like, all right, we got to get rid of them to make sure they don't enrage, because if you leave them up for too long, they'll actually end up enraging, coming out of the CC, and then they won't be CCable again, and they'll just like wipe you.
What's up, Kalamazzi? Got anything to say?
Renewing Blaze.
Just said it dies at 140. This is it right here.
Oh.
Pull 140?
Oh.
Okay.
This is it. They have a res.
Sit up in your chair.
All right.
Tab in, chat.
Yeah. Chat, get ready.
All right,
the Goon cages are coming.
Take us off the second monitor. We're going main monitor content here.
If you're soaking this, get in. You can see THD there with his dark packed up. He's in the cage. The mages have spread their ignite. Now they need to kill these goons before they enrage. Yeah,
So-
look at Shakib here.
So yeah, Shakib, he's got this weak aura on the screen that says hold Vengeful Retreat. If he holds this VR, then he's going to be able to actually break out of this cage. It's going to be double jump and then Vengeful over the wall. You're going to see that happen right here. Bang! And now we're back into the fight. And that's why, because otherwise you would be waiting for these icicles, these frost shard boots, to then pierce your goon cage and break you out. However, Shakib, he saved himself 5 seconds of DPS on the boss, which whenever you're pushing for a bleeding edge world first kill, you have to do.
You see, almost everyone is in the metal right now, but there is one last player sitting in the dirt over there that will swap over and trigger the phase stage, and this is the final phase 1 phase of the fight. We will get one last set of crawler mines here before we transition to the final phase. Can they do it cleanly, though?
Yeah, and like you see at the very bottom of the screen, the energy, that's the bar that we want to beat whenever we're pushing the boss at 40%. They also do a little bit of a hold DPS stop as well to make sure they don't push too fast. The reason that they're going to be holding DPS is because they get a 3-second additional, 3 seconds of additional milk, and KSP ends up going down. They do have 2 battle reses available. They're going to be looking to res KSP here in a couple seconds. Now this group soak, it's being taken over to the skull marker. They're going to drop this hot mess in the middle of the room. The reason for this is because in the second phase, there's this lightning pillar that like cuts the room in half, and you have to be able to use the hot mess in order to clear the slip and slide debuff that happens from those frost shock boots. And yeah, so basically that's why this is being dropped in the middle of the room. They're going to end up baiting there later. So it's just kind of a future proofing of making sure they're able to get that pushed. And like you said, there's the stop. Now the boss is being pushed to 40% HP. Bloodlust is being pressed. They were holding their 2 minutes. So at 4 minutes, they could have repressed their 2s. Instead, that's being held all the way for this 5-minute and 10-second Bloodlust press. And all 20 players are alive for Liquid. They have 1 battle res remaining. They have to do a triple charge in order to not make sure that they're going to get hit with this spinning Gatling gun cast as well. They have to bait well, but also don't get too far in front of the boss. It's really jank with how it starts casting. There's no real good telegraphing on it. The players know this. In addition to that, if you get caught by any of these ground circles, they stun you for 3 seconds, and it will probably put you in that blender. It will end up getting you Gatling gun down. And so now here's the last charge that they're going to bait short. And this boss is very low.
This boss is low. We want this boss to be 23% by the time it comes out of this spin. It is going to be that and lower than that, actually. We might see it hit 22 beforehand. We did lose Wolf, but we have a res. He got the full Bloodlust duration. We just need to stay alive in this transition. First set of mines come out, 6 mines Tettles. They want to get rid of 4 of them before the cages come out.
Exactly. So they're going to get rid of 4 of them, and then they're going to leave them in a mass route. The reason that they're going to be leaving them in the mass route is because they need to shoot the icicles at them later to leave them in a 30-second long stun. And yeah, you see those icicles coming out right here. They're going to be using those mass-rooted mines. Now, here's the hardest part of this fight. We are going to press every healer CD available to get players topped up. They have 4 Goon cages into a hot mess soak. It's going to be a massive amount of damage taken here, and it looks like all of the players that are supposed to be going into the soak are. Dranako going down is actually pretty bad because the mages are one of the primary DPSers that are able to DPS the Galagio Goons from outside the cages. It's really not great. Is it possible to kill the boss with 1 player down, Zyro?
I think it might be, but we've lost another player. Malarcus has gone down. There's no battle reses available, but first, before we even could think about killing the boss, we need to make sure we kill off all 4 of the Galagio Goons. And Tettles, I think they've done it. This boss is still quite low. We could be in for a potential kill here, or just a heartbreaking wipe, but really nothing else is going on here. They just have to soak those final 2 mines, and then there's nothing else for the rest of the fight.
Exactly. So they actually get a little bit of reprieve here until the final, very difficult part of the sequence happens. They're going to have mine soak, and it's like 9 mines. They're not going to soak them. They're going to leave them in a mass route, and then they have one final mechanic. It's going to be the icicles. They're going to use the icicles and bait into that mass-rooted stack of 9 mines that are going to be all enraged, and you do a last stand on the boss. The final big cast of the boss happens around the 8 to 8-minute and 10-second mark, and that will just dictate the very end of this boss. You see the energy at the very bottom as well. That will kind of dictate basically the full raid wipe cast. Now you have seen that he's gone into the global enrage, and so that happens as well, but he doesn't just one-shot the entire raid whenever he's in this global enrage. But the boss is still incredibly low. I don't think that they're going to be able to actually beat the enrage here that's happening right at this 8-minute mark, that you see the full energy cast is happening, but my God, this was close.
I mean, this just goes to show you how much easier this fight. The fight just completely opens up after you deal with those last 2 crawler mines. That is the last damage event on the fight. There is a spray and pray that you have to soak, and then there is like a double finger guns that you have to soak. That is it. After that, you CC crawler mines, you burn the boss, you try to beat the enrage cast, and I think if they have even just 1 player dead there, I think they can beat that, but they ended up losing about 6 players to those final 2 crawler mines. And obviously, I mean, it all started with Dranako going down. They had to commit more to the Galagio Goons. I actually saw what happened. He tried putting his icicle into one of the shocker bots instead of one of the crawlers.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
In the moment, I'm like, wait, can you actually freeze that? That's kind of genius if you can. But no, you just can't hit that with a crawler mine.
So the shocker bots, one of them is going to be left up from the last phase. The shocker bots, they have to get, there's like a finger gun lightning cast on them. The typical strategy on this fight is like you use opposite side mechanics to be able to deal with the other side. And the finger guns take a lightning shield off the shocker bots, kind of like Zyro was talking about. And that shocker bot gets activated like really late on it in the phase. It's there's a mechanic that's like right after the hot mess AoE soak. There's a finger gun that's there that activates those shocker bots and allows them to get like kicked all the way into the middle of the raid, and they'll just basically passively cleave those down.
Yeah, I mean the second those get stunned from reaching 80%, they take like double damage.
Yeah,
You can cleave them down without really focusing them. So it's just they don't worry about them. They just accept the AoE damage from the arc lightnings whenever they're alive. And then if they do get the opportunity to cleave them down later in the fight, they'll do it. They'll let the Warlocks cleave them. But other than that, they're just pretty much extra raid damage.
that was fun.
Yeah,
That was a good pull.
I cannot believe the raid damage in the last phase. Even with the nerf, all I can do is watch the frames, and everybody is so close to death. Like even when things are going right, when they're all split into those goon cages, I just know that there are people in them who are ticking down, who are probably line of sight of healing, and it's just ridiculous. But we have a replay here fired up doing the 4 cages. Look at him blink in their displacement, blink to the other one, gets the ignite, displacement, ignite, and then alters out, and he's back on it.
I mean, he was still in bust right there, so yeah, he's able to build this huge ignite. His combustion is actually, yeah, it's not.
Look how fast this happens.
For a while. But yeah, I mean, that's the displacement to blink, and then he had the ultra time pre-placed, so the ultra time would be like in front of the boss.
Yeah, so one hit, apply ignite,
Bang,
take the displacement back to the second one, apply ignite,
bang,
and
alter
not
out,
get coned.
alter out, hit boss, and then you have ignite on those 2 targets. Because they already have ignite, you can continue to apply ignite to them. So just cool tech that they're doing. And like you were saying, because Dranako died here, these front 2 took a lot longer to die. It's that far back right one, though, that has consistently been the longest one to die. And that's the hardest one for them to kill. They got it dead this pull, though. It was the 2 crawler mines after the fact that ended up taking them out.
It looks like Malargus died. I think that's an immune set, so maybe he had already popped his turtle earlier in the fight.
Maybe.
Or maybe he was going in there for Janako. That could be they just sacked something.
Oh yeah, I mean it might just be a sack call, like
yeah.
So there's a min amount of people that you actually have to have in those hot mess soaks, otherwise it's just a raid wipe. It could have been easily a you sacrifice yourself here kind of play.
And it
but
wasn't
now,
a missed soak, it was just the damage.
Yeah, I mean look at these crawler mines come in. They actually get all the soaks off of these crawler mines, but the raid is just dropping so low. So kind of like I was talking about whenever it was happening in real time, they press every healing cooldown to get the entire raid topped up right before the goon cages and right before the hot mess. If your raid isn't topped there, you're going to be wiping. There's just no way around it. And so then they're just they're trying to not bleed out. Basically every defensive that's available is getting pressed right at the very end. Your boss is like fully enraged. If we had like Boomy's POV, I know that he has a weak aura that tells us like how much.
Look how many icicles.
Okay, so everybody's getting the icicle, and they're just going to bait it into the frost shard mines. That's the only job here. We're going to leave them in the mass route. We're going to leave them in the
That
frost
looks
nova.
so sketchy.
It is a bit sketch, but you know this is the end of the fight because it's around the 8-minute mark, and you see the double-minded fury cast going off on Muggsy. Whenever that cast resolves, he basically just like starts spinning in a circle rapidly, and he wipes you. I saw Fired Up kind of playing around with it a little bit. He was able to like blink over it, then continue to hit the boss, then blink over it again and continue to hit the boss. So maybe you can eke out a couple of more seconds here if the boss is at like 2 million health. We might see Fired Up clutch something out at the very end, but I wouldn't play for that. I would play to kill the boss like 5 seconds before that happened.
I like the strategy adjustment that they're making for that final set of mines as well, because the heroic strategy in general is to just let people on that final set of icicles get hit. You don't have to worry about it, because on heroic, the enrage cast is a lot shorter. You just will instantly die when it gets to 100 energy. It's like a 2-second cast.
Yeah.
But on mythic, there's like a 10-second cast. You have tons of extra DPS that you can do at the end of the fight, and they made it an on-the-fly adjustment.
I mean, dude, look at this: 38% damage amp, 39% damage.
Yeah.
Like we are going to end this fight, and the boss is going to be doing 45% more damage. Like there is going to be basically no way to live any ability. The finger guns cast, somebody's going to have to get pain supped or sacked or like.
Yeah, I believe it killed them there.
Yeah, I think it killed. It was a KSP.
Yeah, like whatever that body is over there.
Yeah, like you were going to have to get either press something that is a near immunity or get like a 50% DR minimum to be able to live that. I mean, look, 43% amp, and then the boss then starts to cast his raid wipe ability. That's why the nerf that happened today, the enrage not starting until after the soak or the charges, that's why that was a huge deal, because otherwise that enrage would have been like 55%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see the
Crazy.
only so like literally the last mechanic that they had to worry about was those 2 crawler mines, and I think they actually ran out of time to deal with them at the end there. They had a little bit of time that they could have soaked those 2 after the jails resolved, after they got through all 4 of the Glodjugans, but their HP bars were so low. If they just had a little bit of extra throughput there, maybe Hailstone's health pots, they could have done it. But the problem was, the mine's enraged.
I think it's intended to let them enrage and then run into you.
Yeah, but the 2 explosions were too close together.
Okay,
that's what I'm saying.
That's probably fair. I don't think that you necessarily wanted to contact you that close together because it got the raid so low that it was almost irrecoverable. But I do think that you're gonna be soaking them around to that time. It's more just like it should be 2 seconds separating it as opposed to just be like bang bang.
Yeah. Well, we're getting right back into it. They obviously had a great poll, so they wanted to talk about it a little bit, make sure everyone was on the same page. Everything was going very well that poll, but just a little bit of extra throughput could have been the difference between that 3% wipe and a world-first Muggsy kill. And, of course, more importantly, a first look at what Mythic Gallywix looks like, you know, for somebody that legitimately killed the first 7 bosses in the raid.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're getting late into the night, and hopefully we don't have to do something in the darkness, because I really want to see Gallywix, but I have a feeling Gallywix will be viewed tomorrow, for sure. That's my...
Do not tell chat that.
Or tonight, but for sure tomorrow. I think, I'm just meaning that this boss is dead somewhere in the world
Oh,
by
boss
tomorrow.
dies tonight. Boss dies tonight,
Oh, yeah.
for sure.
100%.
Yeah, the boss dies tonight. What a boss.
It might even die this poll.
I think I would really like this fight. I think it's fun to watch. I just know that the people in the Goon cages are kind of in a bit of hell.
Oh, yeah. THD, I think this might be his least favorite boss of all time or something. Like, he hates this boss.
He says that about, like, every
Yeah,
boss, though.
he does that every time.
He's a classic World of Warcraft player. Loves to Doom. Not classic like the game of classic is like a, you know.
Well, I just want to say, in between that last pull and this pull, Tobo walked by. He gave me a big boom. I think that's what we need to finish off this boss. Maybe 4 more big booms, and we'll get what we need.
All right, he'll probably come back. We can get another boom.
Production, can you?
I think he went back to the player line.
Oh, I missed.
Can we get 5 big booms?
I didn't get my Tobo boom. That's unfortunate.
I think production might be asleep.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there we go. Never mind, we got him.
Let's go! Yes, this is it.
With the mines.
Lock in chat.
I'm sorry for your loss.
Yeah, another thing Max was pointing out that's pretty hard on this fight is the circles that spawn the mines look kind of like the soak circles. Not exactly, but you know, when you're playing and focusing on like 50 different things, out of the corner of your eye, you might think you're soaking, but really you're just standing where a bomb spawns.
I also think that a really low-key, difficult part of this fight that doesn't get enough attention is like during that phase as well, there's these like lightning circles that happen, and they're kind of similar to like the Razageth ones, where if you get hit by it, you might not die to the circle itself. You might die to the circle itself, but you might not die to it. But the 3-second stun that you're stuck in is going to almost certainly kill you.
Yeah, when he's spinning around.
Yeah,
those ones.
Spinning, that is like insane. THD was complaining about it. I saw some players dying to it. I think Malarcus died to it like one pull as well. It happens probably every other pull. Whenever they make it there, somebody accidentally gets caught in the stun and ends up dying.
Well, it seems like it happens when they're kind of behind the spinning and they're trying to make a decision of like, I'm going to get hit by this spinning and I've just got to like plow through these circles and hope that the timing's right.
Yeah.
Brutal.
I mean, so far, so good on this pull. They've already got through 2 sets of mines. If I'm not, no, only the 1 so far. So, still a lot of phase 1 to go. No, it is 2 sets. Okay, I was a little confused by the big booms. We have 1 more set of mines to deal with after these last icicles. We're good to go. Gonna break both of these chakras out in just a moment here with the next set of finger guns. They'll cleave those down with the 2 warlocks. One set of mines, and I mean, as long as they're able to get through that, we should see another great phase 2. Hopefully, our push is as good as it was last time. Because I mean, we kind of briefly touched on it in the middle of the poll, but that boss was low.
One more energy reset, and then we will be trying to beat the next full energy bar going into P2 here. So we need to basically beat this full energy bar going into that 40% health push. They do, you know, a little bit some shenanigans to stop damage, to be able to get a little bit more milk on the boss. That's just like an optimization thing, though.
Here we go. Mind Soak's coming out. Impec does go down. He has the Ankh. That's not too big of a deal if he's able to get up right before the Bloodlust here. As long as we get the rest of these Soaks off. There's one in melee there. Somebody get it. Boomy saves the day with just the clutchest roll of all time there. And Impec is back with the group. Has Ankh. They have 2 battle reses. But Boomy does go down. We're going to have to use one of them. Had to expend a little bit too much to soak those Soaks there. But he's back up and alive before the Lust. So this shouldn't be too big of a damage loss. But, I mean, look at what the healers have to do here. They cannot really hit any throughput cooldowns here. They need to save all of their cooldowns for the start of phase 2, so the health bars are going to be just sitting on these low values as we try to go for the perfect intermission here. Here's the Enrage cast, here's the Lust. Can they push it in time? Oh, they just barely got it. That was incredibly close, and we are on for another phase 2 pull, and we do have that battle res banked up, Tettles.
All right, tab in, chat. This is a P2 pull. We're going to see Liquid here baiting these 3 charges. This is going to be the first part of this fight that's actually very difficult. They're going to be dodging out of the way of the Bullet Storm. This is the best time to press the Bloodlust because you have a bunch of time that's uninterrupted where you can just deal with the boss. There's a bunch of other mechanics that's going to be coming up shortly, and they are very, very dangerous. I think the next mechanic that we're going to see outside of this Bullet Storm is probably the hardest part of this fight. They're going to summon a bunch of mines, and how they have to deal with them and making sure that they get all of those soaks, that is by far the most...
not a good bait at all. This is like about the worst place you can put it. They might have just a sliver of the arena to go through here. They might be able to get through there. I think they do, but they lost a lot of damage doing it. This boss is about 1% higher than it was last pull.
Bait mine.
But if all 20 players are able to stay alive, they should still have the damage. Like you said, mine bait's coming out. Again, want to get 4 of these mines soaked up before the jails here.
Yeah, they're actually trying to bait it as far away from this spinning lightning laser as possible, and they're also trying to not bait it into that fire that's in the middle of the room. By putting those mines where they have placed them, they have made sure that they're going to be able to get them soaked well. Now, we have
Yips goes down.
The Frost Shatter boots. Yeah, Yips going down. We do have a battle res for him, so he's going to be able to get back up. He's going to have to actually go in one of these Goon jails. Now, we have 4 Goon jails going out at the exact same time. DPSing down these Galagio Goons is required to be able to continue to progress the fight. If one of those Galagio Goons doesn't get killed off in like 30 seconds, they enrage and they shield the boss, and then you can no longer do damage to the boss. And at the exact same time, we have a raid-wide soak that is required, so the players that are in that front Galagio Goon cage, those are going to be the immunity specializations. They are going to be dealing with those Galagio Goons while also taking the soak. Trill goes down here, but the rest of the raid is still alive. Now,
look how healthy they are for these 2 mine soaks. We need to get these down.
Yeah, these mines should be coming in here momentarily. They're going to be enraged, which means they can no longer be CC'd. And it looks like they're trying to pop them a little bit faster than they did last.
No, that was 2 at the same time. We lose 2 more players. Look how low the health bars are. That cannot happen. They have to soak that first mine sooner. I think there's just some miscommunication there that they're not used to on how to deal with those 2 mines. They might not know when it's okay to go and start soaking those 2 mines. Yeah, that's like the last thing they have to do is those 2 mines. That's it. And
it got so ugly. They like crisscrossed over each other, and it looked like they were kind of going to pop it. And they're like, oh, we don't want to pop 2. And then they both went into each other's at the same time. That was so unfortunate. Yeah, I don't know if they could. They were like slogging their way up there so slowly. I wonder if there's something they can do about that. But man, that was. I felt it that time.
I'm always feeling it.
That was such a good push. They were so healthy during the cages.
Let's watch Boomy here. Let's watch him
save this roll.
The raid.
Yeah, the roll was very clutch.
You'll see this soak on the right side of that F-Flow in melee there pop up in a second here. Nobody goes for it. Boomy at the last second. Oh, look at that. Actually, I believe it wasn't Boomy. It was Smacked who got it. Sorry, missed bad call in the middle of combat. There's 5 rogues. You can't really blame me. It was Smacked who rolled into it. Smacked saved the day there.
Where does it come from?
Oh, right on the right there. You watch this. Watch this.
Okay.
Watch it again. Watch it again.
Boomy
so
does nice
in this
roll.
one. And watch that fire soak on the right of the F-Flow there. That is about to hit.
Oh my.
And it is last second.
Oh.
It was okay. There were a lot of people that got it, but okay.
Panic.
In the moment, it looked cool. A lot of people made a play.
Yeah, very close. Is there a way we can quickly look at those 2 mines?
It was like Drago and Exile and Smacked all went in there. All good.
Well, the people with mobility, that's their job. Like
that is their job.
If you're listening to like Max's raid leader POV of this, they're talking about keeping your head on a swivel, especially if you are a specialization or a class that has a lot of movement effects. Especially if you can get into, you can blink around, right? Say you're a mage there, you have a blink that's available. You can press the blink, and you're supposed to just kind of keep your head on a swivel. Boomy did his job correctly. He saw one of those far mines wasn't going to necessarily get soaked. He immediately rolls into it. That way, the moment that somebody sees that he's in it, and it no longer has that like a smoke effect that's like, oh yeah, nobody's in this, hold on. That way that other people can try to target what other mine soaks they need to then be prioritizing. So getting into those soaks as fast as possible helps the rest of your raid also figure out what soaks they need to be getting into.
Yeah, exactly. like yesterday, we've been talking a lot about consistency. Like, if they can just get to P2 over and over and over, that's how they're going to kill the boss. And, like, when we first watched them get into P2, those mines would come out. They could sometimes get through them, but it was rough. And then the 4 cages would come out. It'd just be an instant wipe. They didn't see past the 4 cages. It took them, I don't know, like half a day to get there.
Chat wants you on the floor right now, Tim.
Me? What did I do?
They want you on the floor right now.
Dude, we're too close to a kill. I got to stand up whenever I'm casting. Whenever we're actually close to a kill, I can't be on the floor for this, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think it should be Kalamazoo on the floor. He keeps walking by when it's low, and he's like pumping his fist and stuff, going, "This is it."
Okay, if we can actually cut to the POV of the laptop before we actually go into the next poll, I actually wanted to kind of show something. So you brought up consistency, and I think that Liquid has had absolutely excellent consistency over the last probably like 2 hours of progression, and I think that that's proven really well by like our Warcraft Logs graph here. You can see their pulls over time whenever we get that pulled up. Yeah, right here. You can see their pulls over time here. And around the pull 120 mark, that's when we really started to turn it on. And then we have just been chaining deep P2 progression pulls. And I don't know if you guys are feeling it, but I am feeling like we are on the cusp of a kill just because, like you're talking about, having good consistency, making it back into P2 over and over again, and having the best players in the world, at some point they'll be able to make magic happen.
Yeah, I mean, look at that. The orange bar, that's the current lowest attempt.
Exactly.
Look how long it stayed at that spot, like right after. That's the P2. That's like 40%. I mean, it's there for from pull like 30-something onward.
From pull 120 to pull 140, about 70 or 80% of their pulls have been in phase 2. That's the kind of consistency you need in order to get this boss dead, and Liquid have been playing out of their minds.
Bro, I'm not going on the
for
floor.
the past couple hours.
Do it for Muggsy.
Nettles is only going to be on the floor if they don't kill the boss tonight. That's the deal he made. You guys, he can't go there early. That's not what was offered. You think you can get a fast one on Trade Prince Nettles?
Chat, you guys don't know this because like there's no cams on us, but I literally, whenever we go into P2, I literally always stand up.
Yeah.
It's just automatic for me. I have to be standing. I'm sorry.
No, it's hype. Yeah, we've casted some races before where we're like at a desk and we could stand up with the monitors, but I'm cozy in my chair here.
Yeah, I'm kind of vibing on the couch.
I'm afraid of ripping the cords if I stand up.
Dude, I just like chugged a monster between like the last pull and this
You cracked
one.
an M?
Yeah,
I kinda want one,
pumped.
too.
What flavor?
We got the ultra watermelon. This is the Forbidden
Very
M. The past 8 p.m. the Forbidden M.
I have ordered a white monster.
An Ultra Zero? A
An
classic?
Ultra Zero, just a classic. I'm feeling it. I'm gamer mode tonight.
The one from the
Mug
Boomer
Zed's
game?
getting me so excited.
Dude,
It's gonna kill. We're gonna see some Gallywix Mythic. We hope.
Boss dies tonight.
I've heard of some people refer to that as a sip. Is that the
Oh,
case?
I'm sipping. I'm dipping.
All right.
I'm
Amen.
ripping. Yeah, I'm amped. The monster hit diff today, if you can't tell. Or maybe it was just all my Mythic Plus. I was having fun with my new weapon, doing some 10s. Zyro said I was doing a 7, and he looked at me and he just said, "You're better than that."
Because you are. Like, you literally are, man. You're an ex-World First Raider.
Yeah, but my priest is a little squishy. I'm not that great of a healer. Hold on.
Okay.
Ooh.
Ooh, we got a little bit of... little
Splashed all over my...
splashback from that crack. Okay.
Monster's excited as well.
We had a death to Zevi there. Ended up having to battle res him. It's a bit unfortunate. How valuable do you think the battle reses are in the second phase, Cams? Oh, Cams is actually...
I'm cleaning my glasses. One
Taking
second.
his glasses off from the Ultra Zero splashback. He was a little bit too excited to crack that in there. Hi, Monster Energy. Did you like that crack? Hi. Yeah, all good. Yeah, I think they're very valuable to answer your question, though, Tettles. I mean, being able to pop a res in the tank like they did in that last phase, the boss isn't killable one-tick pull at that point, right? Because you can't have somebody taking boss melees and soaking for your range that get targeted by the finger guns and the spray and pray.
Yeah.
So just having access to that just in case, I think is really important. We've seen actually Scott and Gibbs are under probably the most duress in that final portion of the fight after the final 2 crawler mines are dealt with. So I would love to have one just in case, but I mean, I think any pull where we can get all 20 players alive going into the final phase is a killable pull. It's just on a knife's edge.
I mean, Yips is probably in a lot of danger there because he's actually, his job isn't necessarily just tank. His job is like savior of the raid, right? Like he's trying to wog people. Like he is actually throwing out sacks. He's trying to heal as much as he reasonably can to the point where he might be actually at the very end of the boss. So he's not even necessarily just valuing only his own life, although he is in some capacity. But whenever a prot paladin goes that's whenever they're in a ton of danger.
Yeah, I like the Wiko. If you've noticed that the circles pop up, the big red ones, the hot mess of the current section of the room they're in. And you can see Boomy, he had like a green circle in the far right circle next to the hot mess, so they know where to run. I mean, he's always getting this. They have a little reminder telling him to Fort Brew, so nothing goes missed. And even then, the fight is so difficult with all these add-ons.
It's a little early, Tettles. Wait till phase 2. Don't stand up just yet.
Oh,
he's getting antsy.
I mean, these mines are tough. The mines will be coming
They
out
are, yeah.
shortly once they phase him.
So we have one more energy reset. So Malarkus is about to reset this energy as it hits the 98 threshold. And then we have one more of these phase 1 energy resets before we're pushing to that 40% P2.
So far, so good for the squad here. They did use the battle res, unfortunately, but we will get another one banked up here in the next 20 seconds. We just have to see them live through these mines cleanly. Going to be starting to bait them momentarily. And the way they've started soaking these mines is insane. They just do them back to back to back. First pop, soak. Second pop, soak. HP bars low, have to wait a little bit. Healers get everyone topped, keep going. Pop those mines, soak. They want to get this done so they have time to perfectly push this boss. Fired up, dropping low. Still has the cauterize available, though, so they can keep going here. Still need to make sure we get the soaks off, and then everyone can get in that hot mess in the middle of the room. And that's as crazy as that looked, as low as the HP bars got. That was about as good as it can get for Liquid now. They just need to make sure they get a perfect push into the final phase.
Suri going down. They do have that battle res that showed up at the 4-minute 30-second mark, but that means that they're going to have no leeway in this final phase. Bloodlust is going to be pressed here momentarily as the boss goes into P2 at 40% HP. Then all their 2-minute CDs are going to be pressed. The healers are basically going to be pressing no HPS cooldowns. They're just going to be using that Bloodlust to kind of carry us through the very beginning of this P2. The damage ramp up is absolutely insane here, though.
Of course, the Moxie is going to stay still for the remainder of this phase, but we need to make sure nobody gets run over by that charge or gets hit by the spins here. Of course, we know but at this point, a little bit of stun. As long as he doesn't get hit, it's fine. We're good. Nick's ramped. He's okay. Second charge coming out. It's going to go counterclockwise this time around. There it is. There's the charge. There's the counterclockwise charge. Everyone running in a circle here. Remember, we want to see this boss's HP below 24%. We want to see it start with a 23. That is a sign that they are on for a kill. Anything lower than that, and they are way, way ahead and just need to play it safe. HP bars dropping incredibly low here, but this is on purpose. The healers are saving the cooldowns for the next onslaught of mechanics.
Yeah, we see the Tranquility coming up in 50 seconds. We also have the Flourish and Convoke up in 7 seconds. Wolf Disco going down here. We're not actually going to have a battle rest for him, and on that Warrior, his execute damage is so valuable at this point of the fight.
But Tettles, the boss, was low coming out of those charges. We saw it transitioning from 23 to 22 as they finished that final spin around. So I think it's still killable. They just have to make sure they get all the soaks here, make sure everyone gets their icicle behind one of the mines. You can see Nick here getting into that hot mess, making sure he removes the slip and slide debuff from himself. Nobody has gotten clipped by their icicle. Now, quad jail's coming out. Get in position, get in your cage, kill off your goon, and get ready to deal with the final 2 mines of the fight.
Yeah, you can see those mines there in the back. They're frozen. They'll be stunned for like 15 seconds. Now they have to soak this. They're using immunes while these people are in the goon cages. They don't want to get clipped. And it looks like everybody's fine. Now they just need to kill the goons, get out, then deal with the mines.
Yep, you see Shaq there.
Perfect.
Double jump VR all the way out of the cage. And Scott actually ends up going down. Yips is going to end up having to solo tank the boss for the remainder of this fight. And he's going to be, oh my gosh, he just took the tank hit with the gold as well.
There's the spray and pray.
Yeah, the spray and pray, the finger gun cast ends up taking out Malarkus. And it looks like it's just going to be a little bit too much to handle there without any of those battle reses available in the second phase. But man, we are getting there. We're getting there over and over again.
Yeah, what did the boss get enraged? What happened to Scott? I feel like the only time they die is when the goons enrage the boss, and that was a spot where that could have happened.
The moon ad actually took forever to die. It was the longest one to die, and I wonder if 1 or 2 of them just didn't get a perfect cleave onto it at that point in the fight. Maybe we could take a look at a replay and see exactly what happened, but I suspect you're probably right, Cams. Here is a replay of that encounter. Here's the Scott POV soaking the rocket, and you can see that moon goon is actually like way higher than the other 3. It takes a long time to go down. He does get out from the jailbreak here. He's going to have to just tank that as a warrior tank. There's not a lot that can go on. Was that oh, that was the knockback.
Oh no, the
Just
boss.
The Goon dying.
The boss is shielded, I think.
The Goon, yeah.
Hold on.
The one alive maybe shielded him.
So the boss actually can't go into the Goon cage. If the boss walks into the Goon cage, then it gets shielded. I think that this left side, this Goon that's to the left right here, I think the boss ends up walking into the cage here because they basically didn't get broken out in time. So Scott wasn't able to move the boss. And so that Goon either should be, one, dead, or two, Scott shouldn't, or like the boss shouldn't move through like that.
What even killed him?
Die
Yeah.
to, though.
The boss didn't look like it melee.
Hold on, pause. Can we look at that death log that he
was
looks
the
at there?
Oh, perfect.
Play it forward. And then right after he dies, he looks at the recap. Let's see what that death.
I mean, the boss is shielded, so it's like toast anyways.
Yeah. He's gonna look at the recap here in just a sec.
We just didn't know it was toast at the time.
Yeah, and pause. Can we get a little zoom on that? I love your zoom action. Let's see what that.
Enhance.
Yeah, even he's kind of
Enhance.
confused what killed him. It happened so fast. Because there's no way
Do
just
we
that
have-
knock killed it. Oh, here we go.
beautiful. Goblin gun.
Goblin gun from Muggsy.
At least the tank hit.
Is that
He
the
just
tank?
taunted the tank
Okay.
and took it. Okay, he's just low, I guess.
Interesting.
Hmm.
All right. Yeah. Well, just
Holy
took too
moly.
much damage there. It might have been that his goon took too long to die as well there. I'm not too sure.
It's kind of difficult to assess exactly what the, you know, if you're raiding in the guild, you kind of know what happened, you know who's at fault in some capacity. Whenever you're watching it from like a third party POV, it's really difficult to tell exactly what happened. Like, oh, did somebody not actually go in the cage? Was that why
Yeah.
the goon was a little bit slow? Was there like an ignite that was missed on that goon? Was that why that goon was slow? Was the cage in the wrong spot? Like, there's a bunch that could happen.
Okay, can we play back the replay again? Because the only reason I think that the goon was slow to die is that he's supposed to taunt the boss there, and he tried to taunt the boss as he was knocked up coming out of the jailbreak, and it missed because he wasn't on the smoke bomb.
Oh, awkward. Yeah, I'd also noticed when they're doing the cages, I think a mage had the cage because one of the soaks was like blinking around, and maybe that caused the misignite.
I don't know.
Yeah, so rewind it back to when Scott's goon dies, and we can see that there. That gives you a good POV of it. You can see it on his scrolling combat text here. Yeah, look right above the boss's HP.
What's
bar.
his taunt boss?
You can see he says taunt boss, and there's a lot of misses on the boss there. So he was still under the smoke bomb effect as he was getting knocked out of the cage.
He missed the taunt because of the bomb.
Yeah, that's what
What
I
a-
think it was.
What a very good mechanic that has been designed here.
But then how did the boss, because the boss is the one that killed him.
Well, so the boss isn't supposed to be running. Actually, that's a good question.
Yeah.
Is the gun just, does he shoot you? Is that his melee?
Well, the boss is doing the molten gold knockback here, right? That's why Yips is running.
Well, that's why
around.
Yips was running away
I
with
think
it, yeah.
Scott is supposed to get that here.
I think. Oh, maybe. Could be.
It's funnily enough, we haven't seen this portion of the fight enough from a tank POV to know who's supposed to get that there. But it was going wrong before that, right? They had to use both of their battle reses in phase 1. They ended up losing one of their DPS players in phase 2, so even if it was on potential to be a kill at that point, it was going to be very close. Being one DPS down is not ideal. It wasn't a perfect pull.
No.
So we'll take a learning curve there. Being told from chat that there's something to do with the mages there, so maybe it was the goons were.
Okay, yeah, I
slow.
saw
I
one
can
of
believe
the,
it.
a mage had a soak because he was blinking around, so.
Yeah.
It's difficult to know exactly why that goon wasn't dead. Right?
Yeah.
I think that goon that was in that other cage that shielded the boss was supposed to be dead. Like, regardless of whether Scott dies there or not, that goon is supposed to already have been dealt with.
Yeah, and the Raiders, they're just on a quick little break right now. You're not
Yeah.
missing any of the polls.
Looks like a bathroom break. Little 5-minute.
Yeah,
Yep.
but it takes about 5 minutes to sign up for Coinbase, I believe.
Oh, really?
Yeah, tl.gg/CoinbaseRWF if you want to sign up. Code TeamLiquid20.
What do you get for that?
Free $20. Anybody who signs up, you just get $20 for free, and then you are entered into one of these giveaways for a jersey or to be flown out for the next race. Which includes,
Flown out for the next race?
Yeah, there might be a spa package with production. There might be Taco Bell date with Kalamazi. Maybe appear in one of Jack's videos. Maybe we can go explore all these rooms. Many rooms.
Lots of rooms.
There's
that
a lot of
you're not gonna
rooms.
See on broadcast.
This facility is actually sick.
Yes, it is very cool here. It is normally an office, so it's nice that Liquid office workers let us just take it over.
Can you imagine how you were like a full-time Liquid employee and you just like have nothing to do with any of the like the World of Warcraft stuff at all, and then your office has just been invaded by us
Yeah, and
for weeks, and we're just like here.
Yeah, and if
Yeah.
you sign up at tl.gg/CoinbaseRWF, and again, use that code TeamLiquid20, you could also come and invade this space.
All right, chat. I've got good news for you.
He's on the floor.
He's on the floor.
He's
He'll only
doing this
be
for
there.
you.
He'll only be there till the next phase 2 pull, because I guarantee the second we get to phase 2, he'll pop right back up. But for the time being, he will take the floor for you.
Yeah, maybe.
That's not my fault. Like, I don't even know why I'm here. Like, why'd I get banished to the floor?
You're just making chat happy. That's all.
Yeah,
What did I do?
As casters, we are here at the whim of the chat.
Okay. Well, normally the floor punishment is reserved for cursing, like a pole. What did it even curse?
I think you killed Scott, actually.
Yeah, that was you.
I
You did
think
that.
that's the break, is they're trying to figure out what to do with you.
Hmm.
He's scowling at me.
Anyways,
There's no dog to come kiss you tonight. Though there might be some.
there might be.
There's almost always a dog here.
Yeah, almost always a dog. I've got my dogs tucked away in some Team Liquid slippers.
Oh, yeah?
TL.gg/store.
Normally you let the dogs out.
Yeah, I got these slippers now.
Yeah, okay.
Look at that. There's some horses on them. I think there's white ones also. I don't have those. Some nice horses. You get
Yeah.
these and also some of this nice apparel. Get the jersey that's Ironics.
The boss is
sporting.
Mindsoothe. Pull timers up.
Oh, enough about the apparel
Let's
plug. Muggsy, poll number 145.
Chat, has Tettles served his sentence? Can you get back up now, please?
They will never know because we do not have a picture-in-picture. Can we get a floor cam?
They can definitely add one of those cams.
Yeah.
This is the kill. I was here.
Tempt them.
I was here. I'm calling it. I'm feeling pretty good about this one.
You feeling good about this one?
Yeah.
How confident? Are you going to wager a
No, absolutely
floor?
not. I'm not wagering anything.
Oh, no wagers from the trade prince himself.
But I'm feeling
Does
good.
not sound confident.
What is it that they say at the beginning of Mechagon Workshop?
I don't know. I don't play with those kind of sounds on.
If I don't bet on a sure thing, am I really living? Something along those lines.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I just hear a countdown and a ding, and then we go.
Did you see us making our own WeCores this morning?
The sound?
That was
Yeah.
cursed. Yeah, I was here.
That was completely cursed. Where's the horn?
It's broken.
It's been dismantled because I
It's been
was
dismantled.
I was so over you guys. Like,
Where's the?
It's on the floor over there.
You just broke it?
No, I didn't break it. It was like that when I got
production actually did it.
Oh,
Oh, they're
they didn't.
they're
like
trying to
what they
keep us
made.
from it. I've got a whistle.
Oh, you got a slide whistle?
I don't know
Stop.
whose
Who
mouth
knows how
is on
many
here.
Stop.
use that? You got to use the slide.
You be
Dang,
serious?
that sounds pretty good.
Bro, they're about to kill this boss.
That was the whistle of good luck to THD. He wants to be freed from this cage.
I have a question for you guys.
Okay.
This is an important question we need answered because we haven't killed Muggsy yet. We haven't even seen Gallywix yet. But chat has been so generous that we've already hit all of our donation goals.
Yeah.
Capacity in the Humane Society. So I think we need to add more.
You're gonna get your head shaved, yeah.
No, I'm not doing that.
Why not?
I'll do it.
Your head's already shaved.
Renewing Blaze.
We need to come up with some good ideas that everyone can do.
I'm out of ideas.
I heard
Let's think.
production wants to do some cooked tech at 50K, but that's a little bit far away.
I'm sorry, what now?
Cook tech at 50K.
Yeah.
What else can they even cook up? They're always so busy.
I don't know what it is.
Cams and I are featuring in a music video.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, that's the 25K one.
Dude,
That's what they unlocked.
I thought that
today.
was a stretch goal. I'm in a music video.
Yeah.
I've been told
It's
it's a sick music video.
It's a custom song made by someone in
A
production.
cinematic experience, some would say.
Yep. It's going to be an experience. I can't wait to watch it, and I can't wait for everybody to see it. It's being worked on because we've hit the goal.
What about
We've
Kalamazoo
smashed.
Taco Bell mukbang?
Oh,
Wait, that's kind of a banger.
that might be nice. I don't like mukbangs though because of the chewing sound.
Well, it's
But
Kalamazoo.
it is.
bit.
Could be good. But yeah, I don't know when the music video comes out. I think there's a little more to film, and I can imagine we filmed a lot, so the editing's probably taken forever. But it's going to turn out.
I mean, we kind of already do the Taco Bell mukbang every night. We just don't do it on the stream.
That's a missed opportunity on content there, I think. I think Kalamazoo could be getting some YouTube views.
Well, that's kind of what the Tettles Dratnos like post-day recap is for, because Kalamazi's usually on there munching on a taco or something.
Yeah, he
I
comes in
hungry.
clutch.
Hey, Kalamazi.
He's hungry.
Pay attention, Kalamazoo. This is the kill.
Yeah, come out here, man. We need you. Check. He needs to get out of this goon cage. Foul rush is over. Easy. Are they going to get ready to trigger the boss?
Shakib, you can't hold him down.
No, you cannot.
No.
Can't pin him down at all. An enigma. As he foul rushes and
But
zaps around here.
His POV is impressive to watch. Like,
Yes.
we cut to
Oh.
his POV occasionally, and he's just zooming around. Thank God that they don't have to play like. Thank God they don't have to play
Full
They
mental
momentum.
energy.
missed the push, yeah.
Yeah, missed the push. Very.
Did not have everybody on the side in time.
That's Kalamazi's fault for not coming out here to watch the poll.
Yeah, watching Shakib on Ansrek was insane.
Yes.
It was crazy. That was maybe the first time, or not the first time. I don't know. Watching him do it, it was just like, there's no way I could ever do this. There's no chance if they were like, we're gonna put you in a simulation where you're Shakib and you have to kill this world first Ansrek. Infinite polls. It would just never have happened.
Your Honor, this one is not my fault.
It's not. He's still on the floor. I'm looking at him right now.
Yep. Oh, is this one your fault? A little
No.
Somebody
little
fat-fingered
weird
boss.
mispoll.
We had to reset the boss.
That was the hunter
Oh,
right-clicking the boss, probably.
It happens.
It happens. Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
Everybody's been there. When I played Hunter, I played it for like a tier or two. I was so afraid of that. I would always just put my back to the boss. I never faced the boss because I was so afraid of it.
Was it you or Eric that made the Hunter YouTube videos at Nighthold?
In Nighthold, I might have made some Hunter YouTube videos. I had a nice focus bar. But if we want to hear on how focused the Raiders are, we can go to a Monster Energy listen-in.
Yeah, you just cross at 99.
Yeah.
You should always use energy because
There's no point to like milk to 99. Just go at 98.
Yeah,
We're
that's
stopping
what I do.
DPS.
Hell, I'd go at 70. I mean, you're stopping damage anyway. It's like.
Yeah, we
fucking
actually
hell.
don't. Okay, don't do 70, guys.
Dude, every soak was on
70
that
is
side. That
just
pull, that was crazy.
absurd.
Look where the mines are right now. The like 4 remaining mines. Or I guess this one is getting popped right here. Almost every soak goes over here. Just pure RNG. They're literally on this side of the boss. Just no soaks went over here.
Really, Shu? We're just chilling?
It's crazy.
Chilling on the side of nothing. I love when I have zero
No
soaks
blinks.
near me. It's good.
No
Saving
soul.
the blinks for the
fucking
Pulling the
guns.
boss in 5.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, so many toys. Don't die too quick, okay?
That'd be one of the most useless defensives. Hold there.
Check fuck out of my jail cell, by the way. I don't want you in there.
I kind of
One.
like being in your jail.
Hey,
It
my
just gets
kid.
blown up.
2, 3, 4.
Let's paint the town red.
That's bad doing that. But I don't think, like sometimes I see them all get healed off instantly, and I try to speed up a pop, and I'm almost positive that's bad. If Suri likes it, but I think it increases our chance of wiping on every mine wave.
That's fine. That's fine, I think. Our healing isn't that tight anymore.
W.
Bombs. Good.
How are the healers feeling temperature-wise? Low
Wait,
cool?
why don't you have
I'm
a
very
debuff
cold.
right now?
Cool, you can.
You can
Wait,
throw
Boomy,
it
did your
Oh,
character not get a
Swap the
debuff there?
Stay focused. We almost missed.
What did he
Can you
say?
stay focused, man?
That was weird.
Heat is
His
on.
character didn't have a debuff for the spray and pray. Like, it was odd.
Left.
I was swapping it to hit max.
I already did.
Perfect.
It's feeling a little chilly right now.
I was fucking cold.
I mean, now
marking
that
out
we
quick,
unlocked this
Max.
swap technique, is fucking sick.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, dip. We have a non-dipping warrior. Be careful. Looks like we're okay.
Storm's fury.
Okay, metal.
I'll handle these punks. Be my guest, see?
Don't move it too far. Okay, bait mine's in. 1, 2, 3,
I'm waiting.
4,
Take the risk quickly. People are gonna start getting melee.
5.
Nowhere to run now.
Fuck, the boss looked at me like 4 times.
So
Yeah, I taunted during
Holy
bubble,
shit.
but I didn't want to cancel to keep popping mines. I don't know.
yep, that was good. Well done.
I didn't even get off boss. I trusted you, bro.
Oh, I wasn't doing fucking shit for you.
Oh, nice. I was just left to die.
That's right.
Welcome to the Pro Lab.
Hey, man. I'm retarded.
I can play the game.
Dirt.
Just with lag, we wipe there, by the way, every time. Just saying.
My turn. Gonna grind them to dust. Have at it, mug.
A jail soon.
Front left.
Back left. Keep it the fuck down.
Holy shit.
Grindy kick first.
Yeah, almost died of that fucking going off. Didn't know that you're not here.
Need a heal, bro.
You're good.
Okay, we're jumping in, getting fire soon. 3, 2, jump.
Are we low on damn shot?
Kinda same as you.
Shut, Randy. High kick.
Pick up your
What?
teeth.
What killed Splat? Keep going. Finger gun. Did you not
The
dodge
ice
the
skull
line?
because our goon didn't die because Boomy and Splat
Well, I was
both got
fine,
picked.
but then he moved with the thing, so the shot.
Okay, be in metal. You have to res him in the intermission, I guess?
He's inside the jail.
Yeah, so, yes.
I mean, the
You
wall's
ready for
open.
crawler mine soaks?
Oh, the wall is open.
It's 20
I
seconds.
can probably
bro.
go get him at some point.
Okay, crawler mines bait in 3, 2, 1, bait them in. Okay, popping 1,
Obsidian
2.
scales.
Just open the box.
3, 4, 5, 6. Hot mess.
Zephyr.
Make sure you're on. Yeah. Spots up. Get the circles out. Nice. Watch that person. Kill this ad.
Cool, right there.
Actually, keep hitting boss. Keep hitting boss. We need boss damn. Plus now. Fucking. Not even close, by the way.
Got 3 zappers if you can kill the other ones. Spot. Yeah, we'll have our green when we get wiped out.
Okay, it's fine. 3, 2, 1 left. Okay, spinning is over. 3, 2, 1. Okay, charging. 3, 2, 1 right, short.
Their ancestors
Watch
felt
circles.
that one.
Okay. Charging again here. Last one.
Okay,
3,
ready?
2, 1 left. Get in there.
Been working out. Another stain on the carpet.
Okay, get ready for mines.
Finish this scene.
8.
I'm with you, mug.
Mines are spawning in 3, 2, 1 now.
Wolf.
Popping 1,
Shot.
2, 3, 4. Cross boots 3, 2 now. Okay, make sure you line it up with the ad. Nice, get ready for jails.
No cocoon trail, no cocoon trail.
I was done healing potion.
I mean, we're just
And
fucking
personal.
dead.
Next
Mate berries.
sure.
Maybe you guys are gamers?
Yo, Scott.
Your image is ASP.
Okay, this is immunes.
Detonant.
Keep going. Okay, ad is out.
I'm out, Rani.
Get ready for finger gun positions. Finger
Yeah,
gun
I'm forward.
positions.
First third is gonna needs to die. Okay, it's dead.
Finger gun positions. Okay, watch it. It's on 3.
Pick up your teeth.
We didn't hit the other ad. It's fine. Okay, pop 1. Pop 1.
I'll
Pop
try.
one. What's happening? Why are we? Okay. I'm
Trying to
who's
we're just
doing
dead at
Niels
this
didn't
point.
get out of
You
it.
have, like,
on my way to the first one.
Okay.
We're just so
Damn,
far
the boss
behind.
is
I'm
getting
healing there.
juiced,
It's
bro.
like,
You want me to
Yeah,
just
you-
pop it if I have turtle?
Yes, or something.
How bad would it be to do 5 on the first set? Would it be
It's bad for
completely
time.
doomed?
But yeah, it's gonna
Wait,
overlap
why?
a lot with
Why?
frost bears. Okay.
I don't think we're gonna struggle with these 2 mines at all. If
Alright.
if we just pop them correctly, yeah. We just popped 2.
We were down Nick the entire phase, so
Yeah, we didn't have Nick, so we were just perma rock.
I mean, honestly, we killed getting through the goons down a healer is fucking crazy. That was really good.
we were missing a DPS, or are we not supposed to? have
No,
a
we're not
DPS?
getting a DPS.
Okay, yeah,
I just
true.
demolished earlier. I need to remember to keep it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
didn't
so
get
you
any
came into help.
ignites out because I was using blinks for shields because I was in the desperate
Yeah, I mean,
mode.
if Nick is gonna be there, he's gonna be a lot more healthy.
Okay,
I saw him get stunned, but like he looked like he was gonna live. He barked in the stun,
That was
and then
the
it.
bullet. Yeah.
Can we like grip that? Is it too dangerous to do that? Like if someone is gonna die to this? Like here,
You
it's like,
grip him, then potentially a screw me mark later in the
mean-
fight.
I think.
There you can blink. You could have blinked.
Yeah,
with
you can
those
use your cloak.
all right, let's go, guys. Come on, come on.
PvP trinket.
Oh shit, watch my cloak, watch it. Damn.
Notice well.
There's no way you waste that
Let's go.
pre-pull.
Let's go. Let's
I
go.
never even use them, man.
4,
GG's.
So bad.
Warlock trolling. Warlock trolling.
1.
What happened with Splat's jail?
Only 2 people now in jail again, so that's
Yeah,
super
Booming
close.
Splat got picked, so we were just.
Yeah, fucking wish you had me in there, huh?
Wait, that.
Yeah, so we only 2 people in
Boomy
the
didn't
jail,
get
so we
picked,
have to
I
like play during this Frost Beast basically.
Did we not get picked?
If Boomy and Splat were both picked, DPS.
Don't think Boomy was picked.
Only Splat was picked.
Where did Booming go then?
He came top left.
Probably chilling.
I got it on top left. I had the thing. There's
play
no
the
way
game,
I went
guys.
there for no reason. I'm tripping out right now.
Little guy trolling. Sorry.
Boomy, I'm looking at your path right now. It says front right.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I'm looking at his pod right now, and it says front left.
Oh my fucking god.
Oh my
Getting
god.
fired
Plot
over this.
thickens, the plot thickens.
Dude,
Dirt!
these sounds go so much crazier when you're in here.
Right, Bart? Is this front left?
W pro lab.
Yeah, I've never heard so many fucking back-to-back
Splat
rebounds.
and
Sorry.
Boomy both got picked.
the last set.
Yeah, we're in a pool, bro.
Yeah, this is set 2. This is the one we're talking about. We're not talking about the one in P3.
Yo, Bart, destroy him, bro. Fuck.
So him and Splat got picked, which means someone.
Slow down, Splat.
Yeah, have stopped already.
I'll figure it out after the pull.
In the fire zone.
It'll be slow.
Want me in there, Dren?
No.
3, 2, 1, go.
That goon's gonna be slow on the left.
I don't even know why it's slow.
Don't get hit by the line. It didn't get ignite, right?
Yep.
Finger gun.
That must be it.
It is okay.
I was in there just fucking fighting him. I'm like, damn, not even bad
Make sure you're in metal here.
I'll handle these punks. Be my guest, see?
Okay, crawler mines in 5. Crawler mines now. 1, 2, 3,
It's not
4,
popping.
5.
There is some desync on those bots.
You mean the ones that just spawned?
Yeah.
That's good.
W mech.
Right between the eyes. Say hello to my tiny pal.
Yes, you Dre.
Dirt.
You already know a good server tick on that.
That was a terrible server tick.
Trying to piss you off.
Alright,
I'm
just
so
don't-
sorry
don't
for that.
speak then. Yeah.
point left.
Okay, jumping in 3, 2, 1, now.
Okay.
Finger gun.
Rebuff, please.
In metal here. Kill that far ad range, very ahead.
You heard that, man?
Okay, baiting mines in 3, 2, 1, get in. Okay. Popping 1, 2, 3.
Nothing to die.
4. We're dead. Just die.
KSP got assigned right. Because he's on the node. I don't know, for that set you also want some special rule, but KSP is on the node, so the Weakor thinks he can swap. So he swapped KSP and Boomy. KSP goes left.
Okay, yeah, the mages don't. We don't need
just
any.
take him out the node.
Yeah.
Sure.
But then there's like nobody to swap with, because the node, it just has 2.
It did swap him. It just,
So if
like,
it's Splat,
wasn't followed,
Boomy,
right?
so
Swap.
Splat, Boomy, and Trill. Let me look at the set too. So Splat, Boomy, and Trill. Trill is not in that set, so it should just assign what Splat and Boomy. One of them gets assigned left, but then THD, like if Splat gets assigned left, for example, THD would just go right. So then everything stays the same. Like right should always have 2 DPS and a healer. Left has 1 DPS and a healer because it has Ignite. And then, but what it did was it just sent Splat to 2, so there was just
Splat
2.
stayed where he was.
Oh, sorry, it sent Boomy to left, right?
Yeah, it swapped Boomy and KSP, and then Trill's the only one left, and it puts Trill in the only jail that doesn't have, well, a jail on top of it.
Yeah, Trill going back left is inconsequential. That's perfectly fine. It's just the because he just leaves. But I mean, ideally the warlocks would swap for each other, right? Because then it's like kick for kick, damage for damage, I guess.
Yeah, then you can put Boomy second, and you can put Splat, I guess third, maybe.
Well, then you just say it was index for index, so it's like 2-2.
Yeah, then he would still try and swap to the first group.
What happened on that soak there? Why did we blow up? Was it just like insanely bad
I'm
RNG?
just the only one on the entire wall side. Like, just like no one's near me at all.
4, 3.
So there's 2 soaks, and it's just awkward with my spec to hover because it launches me across the room.
I mean, that's good though.
It's just you and Malarcus over here, yeah.
I was more towards mid side. I'll scoot over to that side.
Yeah, I mean, I can not get baited by like the first soak and just like, I don't know, let someone else fucking soak it.
I mean, yeah, he needs help over here because like every other class I've watched a POV of gets to that soak. And if Dev is that immobile, then they need a lot of other people over there. Mage could like do like 3 soaks.
I am too mobile, man. My hover would have sent me walking to the straight wall. Walking.
Ev is too mobile. Shut the fuck up. Me and Splat playing on hard mode, bro. Actually, Sari's playing on hard mode. We're playing on moderate.
We got someone in the pro lab playing UI-less.
Okay, my UI closed for a bit, but Escape fixed it. We're good. I don't know how the fuck I turned off my UI there.
You told me so.
Do I even need a check or no?
Ah, it's actually chill.
Left.
Man, I saw Shu in here.
He's always in there.
I know.
I'm gonna hover all the way from back here.
Okay,
straight
everyone,
into
we're
the fire.
dipping in 3, 2, 1, dip. Then finger gun.
Go. Alright, Mark, you know what to do.
Metal.
Nice.
Now.
I'll handle these punks. Be my guest, see?
Stay still. Good. Bait mines in.
Time for demolition.
Remember which mines you're popping. Popping 1.
It's okay.
2. 3. 4. 5.
Nowhere to run now. Right between the eyes.
Pray and pray now. Then dirt after.
Double. Yep.
Dirt, 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 dirt.
My turn. Gonna grind them to dust. Have at it, mug.
Okay, jails.
Front left.
Shaker.
Okay, frost boots soon. Boots in 3, 2, 1, jump. Finger gun.
Storm's fury.
Okay, metal.
I'll handle these punks. Be my guest, see?
Boss damage is great. Kill that shocker. Good. Bait mines in close here. Help soak, please.
Joint is rigged to explode.
Nice. Popping 1. 2. 3. 4. 5.
Nowhere to
6.
run now.
Go in the middle. Get in the barrier. Move slightly out of it. Good. The line is fake.
Stopping
apparently. Good. Then spray and praise after. Kill that ad. Stop on the boss. Stop on the boss. Holler. Stop on the boss. 0 boss damage.
true.
0. Literally 0 boss damage. 0. 0.
Insane.
What res me when you
Off
can,
heal?
saying? No rush.
Get boss now.
Thank you so much, Monster Energy, for that listen in. The mics are hot. The boss is hot. We're about to push to P2. Very exciting. You can feel the energy in the building. Tettles, how you feeling?
Tab on in, chat. We're seeing a P2 push. 2 battle reses are up. We do have that Bloodlust pressed as well. Everybody's going to be pressing their offensive CDs here. And what percentage are we trying to see coming out of these three charges, Zyra?
Tettles, at the end of the third charge, at the end of the third spin, if this boss's HP starts with a 23, we are on track for a kill. And with these 2 battle res, like you mentioned, we are in a fantastic position. No deaths so far on the second charge and spin. Can they keep it clean for the third? This boss is almost sub 27 on the second charge. That's as low as we've ever seen it. Hopefully they can get this third bait right. The boss moves backwards, but the charge is also backwards. Tettles, they're going to be very, very close to this beam in the middle, but we know they'll have just enough room to squeeze through there at the last second. But look at the boss HP. Starts with 23, goes into the 22 percentages here as they phase into the second phase. Crawler mines, though, so much AoE damage coming out.
So they're going to be soaking most of these mines here. They're only going to be leaving up 2 of the mines. That's because we're going to get the Frost Shatter boots here in just a couple of seconds, where players are going to play this like slip and slide mechanic. They're going to actually pre-position inside this hot mess soak that's in the middle of the room to be able to remove that slip and slide debuff off of them, and then use these Frost Shatter beams to be able to shoot it into the crawler mines and leaving them stunned for 30 seconds. Now, we have a very difficult part of this fight. We have the Goon cages here. 4 Goon cages are out at once. Like a bunch of players are going to have to go in there, and they're going to have to kill off these Goons within 30 seconds. If they do that, then the boss won't immune. If they miss the check, then the boss is going to be wiping. At the exact same time, we have a hot mess soak where some of the players like Scott are going to be in these Goon cages and make sure that they press immunities to be able to actually soak this hot mess. Now, the Goons are going to be going down. It looks like the boss actually isn't immune, and so I think we're actually in a really good position
All
here.
4 are dead. They have to get these 2 mines, though. This is the part of the fight that they've been wiping on nonstop. 2 mines remain. They are going to be enraging, unable to be CC'd here in just a moment. Both of these mines need to be soaked. Massive AoE damage onto the raid. Look at the health bars, though. They've been able to soak the first mine. Plenty of time to top it for the second one. Second soak goes off. Do not miss a ground soak. Boss is sub 10%. All 20 players alive. They still have the 2
Spray and
battle
pray.
reses.
Spray and pray comes out here. You're going to have to press an external on this player. Dranako getting targeted with that. He actually ends up going down. We have 2 battle reses available for him. If we're able to get him back up, it's going to be a huge deal. Now, there's 2 more mechanics left. It's mines into Frost Shatter Boots. Basically, the mines are going to get mass rooted here for a couple seconds, and the Frost Shatter Boots icicles need to be baited all the way into all of these mines. And look at the positioning here for Liquid. The boss is at 4% HP.
So
the
low.
mass root comes out. The landslide comes out. The people who are targeted with the Frost Shatter Boots going to be rooting and trying to stun up these Earth Crawlers. And now the boss is going to enrage at 8 minutes and cast a 10-second long cast that's going to be wiping the raid.
10 seconds to do
the battle rate.
2%.
Oh my gosh. This is going to be
Just burn. That cast will kill
Burn the
everyone.
boss.
Any immunities
This
you
is
have
it.
to stay alive here.
This
Can they
is
finish
it.
the boss? It's a world first.
We're on to Gallyway. Let's go.
Liquid. Let's go.
Go.
Oh my
Coinbase
God.
world first. Muggsy for Liquid.
Whew, I'm out of breath.
Oh my
148.
God.
My
8
heart.
minutes, 1 second on the timer. That was so close. They were so clean. I can't believe it was that close for how clean they were. It was so beautiful how they got through the Goon cages. Maybe the best pull of the night on that. And then, yeah, they were able to top everybody off, deal with those mines. That part looked easy this time. But we know after seeing how difficult it was, every other pull, that they were just playing insane. That was
We were
beautiful.
talking about it. It's been like for the past 2, 3, 4 hours now. All we needed to do was get past those final 2 crawler mines. And
Exactly.
This is the first time we've ever seen those HP bars so healthy after dealing with those 4 goons. They're finally free. They've broken free from the cages. Muggsy has gone down, and they're going to get the world first look at Mythic Gallywix. But guys,
oh my
it's
God.
10 p.m.
Yeah.
I don't think, unfortunately, I don't think that we will see that boss tonight.
No, the
But
eclipse
still.
was last night, but it's darker tonight.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Beautiful.
The blood moon.
But still, first to the final boss is huge. The information they can gather tonight is massive. We don't know anything about the Mythic Gallywix encounter. We know that the phase starts in the intermission on Heroic. That's all we know.
It's so basically there's not much that's said in the Dungeon Journal about the boss. It basically just starts in P3 according to the Dungeon Journal, and it feels like it's an incomplete boss, which implies that there is going to be a secret mythic phase. Now, we don't know that's guaranteed. This is not something that is just like 100% guaranteed, but that's heavily, heavily implied by the absence of information. So I think that Trade Prince Gallywix is going to be an excellent encounter. It was really cool on Heroic. I'm so stoked to see what they're going to do with it on Mythic. And Liquid looks like they are in a great position whenever they're taking down Muggsy world first.
Yeah, I mean, it could be a 5 heal. It could be a 3 heal. We have no idea. So much damage in this raid on some of these. I mean, Muggsy was just insane. Oh, yeah, I'm buzzing, not just because it's a monster. I'm going to have another sip.
Dude, I mean, we were talking about the consistency that they needed to actually be able to take down Muggsy, just getting back into that final phase over and over again. That was kind of the thing that we had been, as a casting group, preaching for the last couple of hours. We looked at it on our Warcraft Logs chart as well, just kind of showing that they were getting there almost every single pull. And whenever you have players of this caliber, of this skill, just getting them to that final phase, eventually they'll be able to make magic happen. I know that whenever I was on here earlier with Kalamazzi, we were kind of speculating and wondering if the boss is going to need a nerf. It didn't need a nerf. It just needed a bunch of pulls and a perfect play. We thought about, oh, are we going to have to 4-heal this? Is this damage check even doable? And Liquid proved that, yes, it is absolutely doable. You have to basically 5-heal it, and your healers have to be elite. And this was an excellent boss and an excellent showing of just how damn good Liquid is.
Yeah, they played out of their minds for that Coinbase World First. Again, a reminder to everybody, if you want to feel a little excitement, you can get $20 free. TL.gg/Coinbase RWF, code TEAMLIQUID20. to sign up and then fill out the forms here. 1, 2, 3, win that jersey.
It's important to sign up now because we give away one of those signed jerseys every time we get a first boss kill. Muggsy has gone down. It's a first kill for Liquid. It's a first kill in the world. They're on top. If you want a chance of winning that signed jersey, you actually can see them right over there. There's still some players going through and signing them. Don't forget to sign up today.
Yeah, I went and looked at their signatures. A lot of smiley faces. Also, the grand prize to be flown out here. What plans do you have for the person who wins this, Tettles?
Well, hopefully you get to see some very cool boss kills.
Yeah.
I mean, if you were here, oh my gosh, just the nerd screams on some of these bosses is elite. I remember Ansarek going down.
Man.
That was crazy.
Ansarek was primal.
That was insane, and maybe we'll get the exact same thing with Gallywix here.
Yeah, the building rumbles. Not the normal California rumbles, but of the excitement of killing something that takes so much time.
They might feel the rumbles as well.
Yeah.
We've seen a lot of really interesting stats about the difficulty of this raid up to this point. This is going to be the first time, I think, since maybe like Eternal Palace, even maybe before that well, okay, I'm not counting Sofo. That's a fake tier.
Okay.
That we haven't seen an end boss until like midway through week 2.
Bro, this is day 11.
It's day 11. And this is the first time we're seeing the end boss of the tier.
We could be making it to third reset, like quite literally. If Gallywix is a 300 to 400 pull boss, there is a decent chance that we are making it to next Tuesday.
Yeah, I think it could happen for sure.
Buckle in, chat. It is time. Yeah, and also, if you want ad-free viewing experience, you can also throw your Twitch Primes out there.
Yeah, do the Primes.
Oh, yeah,
you're not going to want to miss a minute of what's coming up, because even though we're definitely going dark, we are having Max get ready for the Secret Lab hot seat, sitting down. Yeah. How are you feeling, Max, in that Secret Lab chair?
Oh, are we officially in the hot seat?
We're going.
We're in the hot seat.
It's here.
Oh, it was good. It felt good to kill the boss. That boss was really frustrating. That was like a Stone Legion General's bugged bad
really?
fight. Yeah. Well, I mean, we wiped it 2%. I want to say 70% of our P3 or is it P2? Our P2 pulls since that wipe have been due to just straight up bugs.
Oh,
really?
Yep.
It's kind of hard for us to tell. Do you mind like sharing what those bugs are?
Sure. So the main one is when we pop the 2 mines late. We pop the 4 at the beginning of the phase and then 2 later. When they become CC immune, their hitbox of where you can pop them is like nowhere to be seen. We don't know if it's like they think they're still slow, so their model's in a different part of the room, but we're just running around not able to soak them, and then you just soak them too late and you die. We've had people just like roll in random spots of the room and it will pop them, just completely desynced from where they actually are. That's by far the biggest one. Another one is it keeps meleeing Wolf Disco at the end of the intermission. If you guys see Wolf Disco die?
That was?
The boss is just meleeing just random non-tanks for no reason.
What?
Every pull, just losing reses. What's some other ones? I think those are like the 2 main ones, but those are the ones that keep happening all the time.
That alone is frustrating as hell, so I get it.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
That's terrible.
You loved this boss yesterday. Do you still love it now after dealing with all that?
I mean, I'm happy we killed it, but it was just a really frustrating last little bit, yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to ask if you liked it. So you still like the strategizing of things, and how did you feel about the nerfs?
What did they... So they nerfed the like 10% health. Or no, they not the health, sorry. They nerfed the dot damage by like 8%, and then they nerfed the Moxie stacks in the intermission. I mean, I felt like they were fine. I mean, it was just like insane. Like you could have killed the boss with probably not both of them, but either of them. Like doing it with 10 more Moxie stacks and basically like an extra stack it would have probably both of them together would have amounted to an extra stack. I mean, it just would have taken all day tomorrow probably. But yeah, I think they were good nerfs. It kind of sucked. We were one of those things where you never like when they do, you would ideally love to have them have all the bosses tuned right away. Obviously, if a boss is ever nerfed, the guild who's been on the boss for longer at that period of time is going to feel bad because like the next guild just had that they're going to have an easier time with it. That also could be the case with these bugs. I don't know if they're going to fix them or not. Part of me thinks they probably should, because like you probably just shouldn't just leave a game bugged. But also it would turbo suck if they woke up and didn't have to deal with any of that, because we would have killed that boss hours ago. But it goes like that sometimes. I think the nerfs were probably warranted. I also think they definitely want the raid to die this week.
You think so? Like, I mean, this has been a generationally hard tier. I mean, we're on day 11. You guys haven't pulled Gallywix. This is, I mean,
it's been generationally hard early.
Yeah,
but not. I mean, we're only like, I mean, pulls are not a great metric of this, but like we're only 500 attempts into this raid. So like it's not going to be as hard as last year.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it will. That would be. I mean, it'd be the like unheard of amount of pulls for Gallywix. But yeah, I think they want it to end. I kind of got that feeling after the first 3. Like when we were on Boss 5, I think I don't know this, but like they probably had a meeting where they were just like, hey, you know, this is kind of insane. Like let's watch out for the next few fights.
Yeah.
And also, I bet they really don't want the like stacking raid buff to come into play next reset, because that could be like we've been lucky in the race to never have like everyone needs the reset for this boss to die, and then we get it first. Like that hasn't happened ever, but that would be like really annoying for everyone to deal with, right? So I think they probably want to avoid that. And I think in general in their minds, races don't last 2 resets for the race to world first. Not that they're planning for that, but like they feel like if it's getting to that point, it's probably just something was wrong. Which clearly the 4th boss was like really hard. That's probably what was wrong.
Okay, I have one more question. Coming into the raid tier, you said you were extremely confident that you thought Gallywix was going to have a mythic phase, a secret phase. Do you still think it's going to have a secret phase?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you never know for sure, but every time there's been a secret phase, it hasn't been a secret. It's been data mined. Like, basically, there's like these spells in the Dungeon Journal that for every boss ever, there's just some spells attached to them, and they've been like, it could be something that was part of the fight 3 months ago in its development, and then they stopped having it. But for all mythic phases ever, what's been true is those fights, those mechanics keep getting updated with everything else. They're just not in the journal. And why would you do that if it wasn't part of the fight that you don't know yet? That has happened with this boss. So that's like the biggest indicator that there's a secret phase. And another one would be if you think there's not a secret phase, it's just going to be P3 of Heroic for, what, 10 minutes?
Yeah, that doesn't seem right.
And that's just like, I mean, that alone is just like, I mean, maybe, but that, I mean, it would kind of stink. It'd be a stinker. It'd be a bad boss. So, I mean, I think we're expecting it as far as whether it's at the end, in the middle. Who knows? But I guess we'll maybe find out tonight. Who knows?
Yeah, exciting. I've just got one more question before we let you out of here, unless you have anything.
No. All you.
Okay. How do you feel about a fight that requires your comp to be made around like movement abilities rather than like damage or healing profiles?
It's interesting. I think for the race, it's kind of interesting, but I think for most other players, it's bad. Like, you needed 4 Warlocks on Goon, and that's like every race team can do that. But like, that should never be the case for when most cutting-edge guilds get there. That's kind of lame. I think so. I mean, I wonder if we are doing the fight the intended way. Like, I wonder if they saw only sending in port classes and killing it and leaving as soon as you could as like the intended way to kill the fight.
I mean, I don't know.
I mean, how else could you do it? It'd be impossible.
Frost Shatter boots, breaking the pillar, and somebody sits in there for 5 seconds. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, like I guess like the kill time for all of the jails is you have to like have the people who get picked go in there, and then they stay until the thing, and then they get released, but it dies in that exact moment, and that's like so precise and also incredibly random because the people get picked at different times. So like maybe, and because like the way you'd solve it in the last phase is like you have 4 jails, and then I guess you'd have to put the hot mess in the middle to break out all 4 and give everyone a way to get out. Like there is, I guess, designed ways in the fight to get around it, but it's just insanely more difficult than just bringing classes that can port. But also porting was weird, right? Like some things worked, some things didn't. People were leaping and getting gripped out of things 0.1 before it went down, so there was a path available, and then like they were flying through the wall that should be LOS, and like there was some rezzing issues. If someone ever died in the jail, you couldn't res them until the last phase, you know? Like I would say the boss had like a really cool concept, but I think its execution and especially the bugs were like, I think it ended up being pretty flawed.
All right.
How many pulls did it take us?
140 something, almost 150.
Between 145 and
Your damage optimization was impressive. We were wondering if the P2 check was going to be harder, but whenever you guys moved,
yeah, it was impressive to me too. To be honest, I mean, you literally saw us like try to 4-heal for 30 minutes.
Yeah,
and we wouldn't have done that if we thought the check was going to be you have everyone live to the end and it dies, which is what it was. Yeah, we just kind of popped off, so it was great. We had more damage than we thought.
All right, yeah. How much do you attribute that to the secret lab chairs everybody's sitting in?
It has to be a significant amount, you know? I mean, if you're sitting in regular chairs, maybe you're not as comfortable, right? Maybe you're getting too hot, doesn't breathe well. I mean, that's not the case here, right? Also, we have the recliner features. You actually can't see it on camera a lot of times, but a lot of our players are actually fully like leaned back while playing, which adds to a different level of comfort to stay calm. If you guys wonder why we're calm under pressure, it's usually due to Secret Lab.
He doesn't know that we have the Yips POV that actually sees into his office where we actually see him leaned back a lot of the time.
Yeah, we catch a glimpse through Yip's camera sometimes at you in there. Well, thank you for joining us, Max, for the Secret Lab hot seat.
Cool.
And if you guys would like a Secret Lab yourself, you can order one online, and I believe we have a discount code here coming up. SLEV-TL-RWF at checkout, tl.gg/secretlab. $90 off, 100 euros. You can get this Titan Evo Horde or Alliance transmogged chairs. Look pretty good in your room next to your computer. And maybe you can sit in this and work your way up the ladder into a World First Guild.
That was a very impressive kill. We did not think it was going to be doable with the damage check with 5 healers whenever we were sitting on the couch earlier, but just the optimization with their offensive CDs with the Bloodlust timing, that was crazy.
That is a huge kill. And I mean, you saw how close it got down to at the end. We'll show the replay in a moment here. But there were seconds left on that Enrage cast. They maybe could have killed it off with the Yips bubble and like let dots tick for a little bit there, but there would not have been a lot of time for that. It would have been insane.
Yeah, that was.
But the damage was just nuts for them.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like, it just made the phase look not that hard. I mean, it looks crazy, but you can't even tell that the raid damage that was just picking people off every other attempt was even there. Like, they were so stable.
It's why watching kill attempts doesn't always teach you everything you need to know about like the progression of a boss. That is almost certainly one of those fights that there are so many difficult parts of a fight that if you only ever watched the kill attempt, you don't even see how many hours or tens of hours of progression actually went into that very perfectly crafted strategy.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the fun of progression ratings is you just hit this wall. You're like, this is impossible. And you just keep pulling it, and all of a sudden all the pieces come together. Everybody figures out how to not die on their own, or maybe we move a cooldown here and there, and it just kind of you slowly inch your way to it, and then the huge payoff, which we saw earlier. I mean, very exciting. Very excited. Yeah, it's...
Don't tell them. Don't tell them.
Yeah, the Raiders, they've gone home. They're for sure all done raiding for tonight.
Do you remember the first time way back in the day when we left the facility?
That was ridiculous. How they did these cameos of like you guys leaving the building, and it was just like, yep, they're no longer here in the building, guys. There's nobody here.
They had the camera on the hallway, and all the Raiders walked by out of the facility. And they're like, all right, that's it for the night, guys. Stream's off. And then we just walked right back in.
And then people started posting on Reddit, oh my god, I /who Liquid Guild, and I see that they're in the raid. They're raiding overtime off stream.
No, definitely none of that. But if you missed the kill because you maybe weren't subscribed to the channel, make sure to get subscribed. But if you missed it, we are going to have a Coinbase replay of this world first Mugsy.
Oh my gosh.
I want to see it again.
Just like no one's near me at all.
3, 2,
so the sea soaks, and it's just awkward with my spec to hover because it launches me across the room.
I mean, that's good though.
It's just you and Malarcus over here, yeah.
I was more towards mid side. I'll scoot over to that side.
Yeah, I mean, I can not get baited like the first soak and just like, I don't know, let someone else fucking soak it.
I mean, yeah, he needs help over here because like every other class I've watched a POV of gets to that soak. And if Dev is that immobile, then they need a lot of other people over there. Because Mage could like do like 3 soaks.
I am too mobile, man. My hover would have sent me walking to the straight wall. Walking.
Dev is too immobile. Shut the fuck up. Me and Splat playing on hard mode, bro. Actually, Sari's playing on hard mode. We're playing on moderate.
We got someone in the pro lab playing UI-less.
Okay, my UI closed for a bit, but Escape fixed it. We're good. I don't know how the fuck I turned off my UI.
You told me so.
Do I even need a check or not?
Ah, it's actually chill.
Man, I saw Shu in here.
He's always in there.
I know.
I'm gonna hover all the way from back here.
Okay,
straight
everyone,
into
we're
the bar.
dipping in 3, 2, 1, dip. Then finger gun.
Storm's
Go.
fury.
Alright, Mark, you know what to do.
Metal.
Nice.
Now. Stay still, good. Bait mines in. Remember which mines you're popping. Popping 1.
It's okay.
2. 3. 4. 5. Pray and pray now. Then dirt after.
Double.
Dirt, 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 dirt.
My time. Gonna grind them to dust. Have at it, mug.
Okay, jails.
Front left.
Shaker. Feel the burn.
5, 4.
Okay, frost boots
3,
soon.
2.
Boots in 3,
1.
2, 1, jump. Finger gun. Okay, metal. Boss damage is great. Kill that shocker. Good. Bait mines in close here. Help soak, please. Nice. Popping 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. Go in the middle. Hold. Get in the barrier. Move slightly out of it. Good. The line is fake.
Stop right here.
Good. Then spray and praise after. Kill that ad. Stop on the boss. Stop on the boss. Holler. Stop on the boss. 0 boss damage.
drill.
0. Literally 0 boss damage. 0. 0.
Insane.
Well, arrest me when you
Off
can,
heal.
Sang. No rush.
Get boss now.
Why does he say 7 voice lines there?
Okay.
Got 2 heads.
Charging in
it's
3,
3.5.
2, 1 left. Watch circles. Over in 3, 2, 1. Charging again. This is going right. 3, 2, 1 right. Watch circles.
That one.
It's over in 3, 2, 1 now. One more charge. It's going the opposite direction.
Left.
3,
Left,
2,
left.
1 left.
Working out.
Watch circles. We can do these mines. We know how to do this. Okay, get in position.
Let's finish this siege. I'm with you.
Don't alter.
Okay, bait mines, guys. Bait mines are spawning. Pop 1. 2. 3.
5, 4, 3,
4.
2, 1.
And boots in 3, 2, 1.
Long ports.
Okay, and get ready for jails. Get ready
Blink.
for jails now.
Back left.
Live the
Got
initial hit
mass
of the jail.
barriers.
Live the initial hit of the
Personals.
jail.
Mass barrier.
Good. Boss in position
You
for
okay,
Ignite.
Scott?
Yep.
Nowhere to run now.
Okay, boss for Ignite. Good. This is immunities.
I can throw the mine if you need it.
Okay. Immunes. Good. Out of the fire. Good. Everyone get next to the boss for healing now. Get in for healing. Finger gun positions. Make sure it hits both. Thanks. Everyone to the right for finger guns. After this, we're popping one mine. It'll be smacked. Or it'll be Mark popping both. Ready? So Mark pop 1 and 3, 2 now. Soak. Pop 2 and 3, 2 now. Soak it. Nice.
Kill the Rocketeer as well.
Kill the Rocketeer. Soak. Good. Behind the boss. Spray and pray to the wall. Spray and pray to the wall.
Cauterize Scott's.
Listen, all we need to do is bait good mines here, okay? Everyone just fucking relax.
Res
Nako.
I'll get him in 1.
We're baiting the crawler mines. Get near the boss. We're baiting them Babby. Who's first route?
I'll drop mine.
Okay. Do not pop a mine.
Thanks,
Get next to the fire. Get next to the fire.
No English.
Okay. 3, 2. Get in the fire. Get in. Stay. Leave. Make sure do not pop a mine, okay? Do not pop a mine. Do not pop a mine.
One's walking.
It's walking. Do not pop
Res
it.
him.
Res exile.
Res him.
Res exile. Everything
All
on the boss.
personals.
This thing's fucking
Let's
dead.
fucking go!
There we go.
Double neck, double bling.
Oh,
I mean, the neck's good, right? Isn't it?
Yeah, the neck's pretty good.
Oh, that's
shit!
Good shit, bro.
We
Weaker
ripping a reload post kill. Very good.
Yo, Refute showed up. Yo, Refute. Yo, he's there.
I'm getting shot crazy right now, by the way. I'm getting fucking shot down.
Yo, Refute showed up for the kill, bro.
Yeah.
And that was your Coinbase world first Mugsy. Now let's take a look at the Coinbase leaderboard here, where Liquid has secured themselves with the 7 of 8 at the top, with Echo and Method right behind.
And we just saw how difficult that kill was. Liquid had 4 seconds left on the Enrage cast, and that was the best damage we had seen from them all night transitioning into Phase 2. That is not going to be an easy feat for Echo and Method to replicate, but we've seen them do this kind of thing before, so Liquid have no time to sit on their achievements.
Their laurels.
No.
Rest on their laurels.
Yes.
That's the good phrasing of it. They're gonna have to start working on with the Gallywix, but for the time being, that's a fantastic kill for them.
Yeah, and here you can see the progress through the raid. And Liquid had a number 2 little mini guy there on Sprocketmonger, but they have caught up with the one-armed bandit and now the Mugsy. I mean, I think that's just, it's secured them in the lead.
Here's the situation with Gallywix. We kind of talked about this whenever that Sprocketmonger lock and stock was killed world second after the reset. It doesn't matter if you don't let it matter, is the most important thing. Gallywix is by far the most important boss. A race isn't won or lost on the first 7 bosses. Mm-hmm. It is won or lost on the final boss and how you perform on that. So while there was some mishaps with Sprocketmonger, you weren't able to kill it. Reset 1, whatever. You have to lock in for Gallywix, though. That is going to be by far the most important situation. If you play the best on Gallywix, if you're Liquid, you're probably going to win. Echo, same thing is true for them. If they play the best on Gallywix, they're probably going to win.
Yeah, and unless somehow they have a big issue killing it tomorrow, right? If there's some major feeding from either of those 2 guilds tomorrow, that could be a problem. I don't suspect they'll have that issue, though.
Method kind of ran it on Bandit. I don't know if they actually are in contention of winning the race world first anymore.
That's true. It depends. It all depends on the difficulty of Gallywix, right? But I think they are about a day behind right now.
Yeah, I think that Echo needs to get down Mugsy within their day tomorrow, and then begin their progression on Gallywix, and then it's going to be a pretty close race to the finish, where we're going to start seeing, Dreadnoughts and I call this slingshot season, where the guilds, one guild goes to bed ahead, they wake up behind, and then they trade blows over and over again.
Any thoughts, Florida man?
You don't fix the bugs on Mugsy. Leave it bugged, let them kill it that way.
That amen.
Kalamazzi hate watching Echo, apparently. That's what it sounded like. He said, fair is fair. I am a hate watcher.
Yeah, Kalamazzi's saying, don't fix the bugs. Leave the boss as it is. Let everybody else suffer, which I mean, in fairness, it's awkward, but that kind of seems right.
Dude, the liquid Mugsy loot was whist. That was worse than slot for sure.
I was about to bring it up, like no Dobby, but that might be the worst loot I could have possibly seen from that boss. It was 2 necks and 2 trinkets that I don't think anyone wants.
It was double useless melee DPS trinket and double neck. Yeah, like that literal whist. You want weapons. You want 4 weapons on that boss.
There are like 3 different Galley-Tech weapons that can drop on that boss, in addition to the very rare fist weapon that would be sick for any of their Windwalker monks, and they didn't get any of those, so it's a little unfortunate, but they do get first look at Gallywix. They do get to start pulling that tonight. They do get a lot of information that Echo won't have available to them. So that is reward enough right now. That's huge for them.
Yeah, I guess just to close the book on Mugsy, I mean, penultimate boss, very big boss in the raid. I'm trying to think of like my final thoughts on it. I agree with the annoyance of the like
smoke bomb.
Yeah, the smoke bomb, but it is kind of cool to have to comp around things other than just damage. It lets you flex the creativity. I mean, they have all these characters prepped for a reason, and so it lets them like it cracks it open, and you don't have to just think about like okay, who does the most single target. But then also it does seem weird to play. But I think like P2 seemed so awesome.
I think Max put it best. Really cool for a race world first. Probably a little bit rough for any other guild that doesn't have the comp stack available.
I suspect that boss will need a lot of changes to it on in the coming week.
Yeah, the ports and the smoke bomb style effect. I think that those are likely to be candidates to receive pretty substantial changes.
It wouldn't surprise me if they just completely remove the smoke bomb effect entirely at some point.
They didn't come into the tier with that effect. The first couple of days on Heroic, if you did the boss, you could actually DPS over the wall with things like Havoc and Mass Disintegrate and Starfall. But then whenever you change it, it's a lot different for how you actually have to do the boss. It's just like a very different fight.
What if they just made the icicles come out like the 5 seconds earlier? Do you think that would, like, if it lined up to just keep it rolling?
The problem is, like, exactly what Max said. It's like you have to be one of the lucky people who are also targeted by the... I guess you could, in theory, bait it into the wall if you were one of the person that's targeted by the Frost Shatter.
Yeah. Well, that's not a problem for us to figure out. That's a problem for Blizzard to figure out.
It's nothing to do with me. Yeah, exactly. Just big shout out to Liquid for killing that boss. That boss looked unkillable, and Max was surprised that they had the damage for it. I was actually stunned. But the point of which they had that 1% wipe, we knew it was on the table for sure.
Well, what about Gallywix? Do you have any theories about that boss?
The big boy, the main event?
Big Chrome King himself?
All right, so all we know is the Dungeon Journal's weird, starts with the intermission, and then there's kind of nothing else. And it was one of the first or second night, Max told us like a ton of secret data stuff has been mined out, and he's, as he said in the interview, normally they don't update that kind of stuff if it was removed from the game or they were just testing with things. So we're expecting a lot of that stuff hidden from the journal to be secret phases, which we haven't seen, I think, since Jailer, correct?
Correct. 3 years ago now.
So I had a conversation with Squishy like earlier on this week, and I was trying to figure out like why it was impossible to hide some of the stuff. I was like, why can't you just encrypt it? And he said something that was kind of important. He goes, you can't actually tune abilities that are encrypted. So you actually can't change any of the spell data on any of the abilities that are encrypted. Otherwise, it gets caught in data mining, right? Whenever you're running spell diffs. So if what Max was saying is true, and like Doravan or Siori actually caught something in data mining that has to do with Gallywix, probably an ability that names Gallywix specifically that was unattached to the boss itself, they probably already know at least some of the mechanics. They probably don't know any of the pacing. They probably don't know what's up with the fight. But assuming that what they said is true, there's a decent likelihood that they know that there is a secret phase.
Interesting. Okay. I mean, it makes sense. Like Max was saying there, he was saying, like, based off the Dungeon Journal, if there is no secret phase, if the fight starts with the P2 to P3 intermission on Heroic, you just have P3 for the rest of the fight, which is kind of not that cool.
It doesn't make sense with the Dungeon Journal, like, just because, not because there is anything explicitly stated in the Dungeon Journal. And bosses past that have had secret phases, Gul'dan kind of implied that Illidan was going to show up. And on N'Zoth, it was like, and Magni and Mother, they need your help. Go into the portal. And you're like, what portal are you talking about? And so you kind of knew that there was a secret phase. This is more like absence of information is very telling as to the fact that there's probably something missing.
Yeah, I'm very excited to figure out what it is. I mean, what can we even theorize? Like, Is there any? Does anyone in chat know lore things that could happen that give some spoilers? Like Gallywix is he maybe
we jump in the
with
hole
the void gods some way? Void something?
You know, you saw there was the hole. We jump down in the hole, and then we fight Xalatath riding Gallywix.
Okay. Yeah, we haven't seen Xalatath pop up in a boss fight.
Well, she was but she was in the cutscene with Gallywix in the Undermine zone.
She was not happy with him.
She was not happy with him.
Oh, maybe she just kills him and replaces him.
Oh, maybe she mind controls him.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah, could be. Right, well, we could just sit here and speculate the whole time, and we'll never know what will happen. But I do know what will happen if you go to tl.gg/Coinbase RWF and use the code TEAMLIQUID to sign up. You will get $20 and be entered in the giveaway of one of these jerseys. If you're quick enough, maybe you can still get the Muggsy one. I don't know if that has gone out, but we're doing one every boss kill. So there's only one left if the Muggsy one's been claimed. Got to fill out the form, tl.gg/RWFBTS. And BTS stands for behind the scenes, because if you win the grand prize, you'll get to go behind the scenes to the Alienware training facility here in LA for the next Race to World First.
I thought it was Bangtan Soyandan. Never mind. My bad.
Huh? What about Rose just said?
Nowhere's no.
Nope, I don't know.
It's behind
but
the
I
scenes.
do know that this is going to be a lot of fun. The race is always exciting. Doesn't matter what the raid is next time, you would want to be here. It is good fun. So again, tl.gg/Coinbase RWF code TEAMLIQUID20, and then follow this 1-2-3 step here, or that nice QR code in the corner. Yeah, I am hyped for tomorrow. I would reckon to say that Echo is going to kill it by the time I wake up. They'll kill Muggsy.
Muggsy? Oh, dude, I don't know.
You don't. What's their best attempt?
16%.
The pressure's on them.
Oh no, 10%. Sorry, 10%.
The pressure is on.
10%.
10%.
Yeah, they actually. So it was right after the spark change went through when they pushed the second half spark Echo. I think they went and crafted. They got like a 10% pull, and then they called it for the night.
Yeah.
So they'll have to wake up knowing Liquid's got the boss down. The pressure's on. They need to get that kill at some point today to just keep the pressure on Liquid.
Their P1 strat is very different than Liquid's. I don't know how much that's going to matter necessarily.
Oh, they're still different?
Yeah, it's still different. I don't know how much that's necessarily going to matter with boss damage in Phase 1. If they have to actually do any reprog on their P1 to get a preferred push where, you know, the lust timing with all of the offensive CDs are coming out right as you're phasing into that last phase, and you get the repress on the 2s during P2, that I think is almost required to beat the DPS check on this fight. I don't think you can actually beat it any other way. And if Echo's strat doesn't allow for basically perfect offensive CD usage for P2, I think that they're going to have to redo their entire boss.
Hear me out. Gallywix Mythic Secret Phase.
Uh-huh.
You get the boss down to 10%, just like you do in Heroic.
Okay.
And then out of the hole, Styx Bung Junker on top of Halandris pops up, and you have to do 2 different bomb mechanics at the same time.
All right, get us out of here. I'm over this. I'm over this conversation.
Well, don't. I hope that doesn't scare you off, because we do have After Dark presented by Coinbase coming up, so don't go away. I'm Cams, joined by Zyronic and Tettles. That was an exciting Muggsy, and tomorrow should be even more exciting with some Gallywix. But first, the After Dark. We'll see you in a few.
GN.
GN.
Yo, good job on that boss, man.
Yeah, we got some loot though.
Yo, let's check it out.
All right, let's see what we got.
The chest is massive. Wow, it's beautiful.
That is perfect for the race. So, what should we do with it?
I know. We should give it away in our Race to World First Liberation of Undermine Alienware Area 51 PC giveaway.
I wanted to keep it.
Go to twitch.tv/TeamLiquid for a chance to win an Alienware Area 51 PC.
Listen, we need to have a conversation about apparel. The fact is, you signed a contract guaranteeing certain concessions. One of those being a spot on this broadcast.
Well, that's where I see things differently. Contract or no, I will not sell out for an impeccably designed and high-quality t-shirt.
I'm sorry you feel that way, but that's basically the nature of the race.
Maybe I'm wrong on this one, but for me, the race doesn't include selling cozy 100% cotton hoodies with graphics specifically designed for this race.
Oh, this is cozy.
Max, you know what I'm talking about, right?
It's like people only do the race to sell t-shirts. And that's just really sad.
Fun, sporty, hatchback, hybrid.
We did it! It's perfect! This Civic is powerful and fun to drive. The ultimate mount.
Honda mounts are magical.
Check out how cool MyBlue is.
Mine's way better.
Think your blue can beat ours? Prove it. Complete quests to get points and customize your blue. Maybe you'll see it featured on the leaderboard. Join MyBlue now.
Max, hurry up, they're behind us.
Just a few more tweaks. Hand me that tool.
This better be worth it.
Almost done.
It's beautiful.
We gotta get out of here. Don't forget the PC.
Live from the Alienware training facility. It's the Race to World First After Dark show.
Presented by Coinbase.
Starring Cams. With special guests, Teddles.
Yeehaw.
And musical guest, Kalamazi. Now here's your host, Cams.
Hey, how's everybody feeling tonight? How's everybody feeling tonight? Liberation of Undermine, what a raid. So far, this has been a pretty interesting raid. We've had dinosaurs, a gorilla, a whole lot of goblins. Wow, sounds a lot like my dating history.
Aren't you married? What's history there?
We had to take a look at a lot of transmogs this week. Am I right? Some were good, some were bad, and some were Dratnos pretending he knows how to shut up. This is the After Dark show. In the morning, we have automatic jack for Rise and Race. They tried to get manual jack for the morning, but apparently he was bad at shift work.
I get it.
How are we feeling tonight?
I'm feeling great. I'm revitalized. My fourth monster in me. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, we've had a lot of great food here this week from the great Chef Heidi. There was a big slab of meat when I walked into the kitchen lobby. It was actually Kalamazi taking a nap. Kalamazi orders so much Taco Bell, he's decided to change his name to Call Live Moss. Call it Moss. We're having fun, folks. We're having fun. We're doing this event out of the wonderful Alienware training facility. Not a lot of training going on here, though I'll be honest, unless you count Kalamazi training his jaw to swallow 5 tacos every night before bed.
How are we up here?
We have production just over there. They're the ones flipping the switches, hitting the right buttons, counting down from 10. Something my wife says I haven't done in years. Makes us here too, and what she brings to the show with her sense of German engineering, German ingenuity, and her horrible sense of humor.
She's not even here.
She wouldn't get it. We also have Aya here. She keeps dying on hardcore. I've seen all those clips. She can only keep a single character alive for a couple of days, which is about how long she can go without farting on stream.
I did not fart.
I heard
sorry.
Fired Up went to the doctor the other day. The doctor told him, there's a cream for that. We're having fun. I don't know if you've seen this, but Dratnos and Tettles have been cast in a buddy cop movie. Apparently, the title of the movie is Dratnos and the Other Guy.
Sorry,
I asked THD the other day what THD stands for, and I found out it was Tinky Hinky Dinky. Tinky Hinky Dinky. There was a blood moon yesterday. We all went outside to look up at it. Cyronic stared at eye level because he's so tall. His head's in space.
I got that one.
Yeah.
I got that one.
That's what's gonna get roasted. And Cyronic guy's like, oh yeah, he's tall.
All right, I hope we're having fun. I'm gonna head over to my seat here. That concludes the monologue.
Come join us. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome.
We having fun here tonight?
I'm having a good time. Yeah, it's an hour and a half.
Something is going on for sure.
Yeah. Live in Moss. Call Live Moss.
Yeah, that's me. Call Live Moss.
Yeah.
Kali Ma. Yeah. No one gets the reference, do they?
It's crazy that he kept roasting you over and over again more than the rest of everybody else.
It's because we're so close. We've been doing these a while. I remember way back. How many years ago was that?
About 20.
Nyalotha?
15 years
15 years ago? Yeah, it's been crazy. It's been a crazy ride with you.
It wasn't Nyalotha for you. Well, technically you were raiding.
Yeah, I saw you around. You came in late, I remember.
Yeah, you didn't say a word to me.
No, I'm pretty shy.
Okay.
I'm branching out. I'm trying things. It's going okay.
Good. I'm happy to hear it. I thought you hated me.
No, I like you.
I think you still hate me, actually.
No.
So.
No, it's fun thinking back that far. But
just dating us that far. What do you think?
We're going to date ourselves tonight because we're doing this month in WoW, and we're starting all the way back, as you can see there, with 2004.
Oh,
the WoW beta testing began. We're doing stuff that's happened around this time of the year in WoW through the ages. And so it's like kind of end of February, beginning of March time, which is when the beta testing began. Look at some of this art.
Cool.
Look at that powered shield still in the game like that.
They gave me a character model way back in beta. That's crazy. Look at that middle picture.
Oh, yeah,
Holy
that's a
cow.
slab of meat.
That's me. I have to talk about it a little bit. In my hotel room staring in the mirror.
I did not play the beta. I had friends who were very excited about it, but I came in later. So not that old, but I'm old enough to remember the beta being announced and friend groups being excited.
I feel like I am too.
Oh,
when did you start playing?
Early Burning Crusade, but I really didn't play Burning Crusade till I hit 60, so like end of vanilla, sort of.
Okay.
Been a while.
Yeah, I think we probably started about the same time. I was started end of vanilla. I didn't get a character to max level, but then I did and got my little Belf mage to 70.
There you go. Yeah, there you go.
And now we can talk about the original NA Advantage, because in February 2005, World of Warcraft launched in Europe, which is a few months. It came out in November of 2004, I believe, for the US. And the EU got this huge delay of a few months, so that's pretty...
We had to get all the bugs
narrowed
away,
the
right?
gap since then, yes.
How did patches work back then? Or was the game not patched?
No, they did patches. You just had this little launcher thing. It was like a little window, like kind of like the BNet thing, but it was just a small thing, and it would just kind of do the patch through that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no other games, just the WoW stuff.
I remember when Battlenet actually came around. Maybe it's in the actual thing here. I shouldn't get too far ahead of myself.
No, it's not. But I do remember when it came around. I don't know when it was, but maybe Kata.
It's like somewhere around there. I think Kata, Wrath era, something like that. Mm-hmm. Why are you caressing my shoulder?
I didn't mean to caress your shoulder. I didn't
They caught it on camera. I can't tell. Just caressing my shoulder.
I moved my hand and accidentally touched your shoulder. That's my bad.
I don't care. I just you're 2 rooms down, right? Anyway,
March 2006, Dire Maul comes out. I've got the patch here. It is 1.10.0.
What is this thing?
Oh,
that
this
I'm
is
looking at on
1.3.
screen?
Excuse me.
That's a brutal picture. Look at that. That's pay a patch 1.3. Dude, is that like armor? A gut armor?
I can't even tell what I'm looking at.
My notes
it was
were
back
wrong.
in 06. I mean, I can't really hide
Yeah, the guy looked cool. I think in this patch, I've got the notes here that weather was added, so there wasn't even weather in the game.
Oh,
and the flight paths were finally linked.
Oh,
Up
gosh.
to that point, you had to just fly one to the other. You couldn't just AFK through the whole Kalimdor.
That's huge quality of life.
Yeah, big quality of life in March.
Okay.
All right. Oh, I see it coming up. I've already spoiled it. This has gone off the rails. The next one is the flight path and the weather. The 1.10.0. We don't get a lot of 1.10.
Yeah, 1.10.0. There we go. Yeah, very nice.
Dude, they had tons of patches in vanilla. Like, they patched in PvP, like Battlegrounds, I believe.
Oh.
That's just good value on your sub and your box purchase, honestly.
Yeah.
100%. Oh, this is AQ, right?
Yeah, this is. I think this is the patch I started playing, actually. I remember seeing on that launcher the AQ stuff.
Yeah,
That's cool.
So typically people would notice that that's AQ in the top right-hand corner of the screen where it says the gates of Encourage.
I can't read it.
Yeah, the gates of Encourage, AQ 20 and 40.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I never got the raid AQ, actually. It's one of the reasons I went to play Classic, but never really got around to doing it.
No. And then we flash forward 2 years to March-ish area of Burning Crusade.
Ah, the better time.
Oh, wow.
2.4. Sunwell.
This is one of the most underrated raids of all time, and it's still talked about in relatively high regard, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Brutalis is good.
Kind of the first, like, really, really hard raid. Black Temple and, leading up to Black Temple, getting attunements and stuff, that was all such a pain. But then Sunwell came out, and it was, like, after a long Black Temple farm, so everyone was kind of biss. And so all the bosses were tuned for the time of being like,
rough.
Yeah, this is a hard raid.
The Great Recession also happened then, I think.
Yes, plenty of time if you lost your house to play Sunwell in your apartment.
I mean, Maru was a fight here. And Tropius,
Maru.
yeah, very tough fight.
Everyone remembers Maru, yeah. One of the legendary, very chain heal heavy raid. I only killed this one in 3.0. After the nerf.
Okay.
It got heavily nerfed when the pre-patch came out, and I was able to clear it.
Did you raid this whenever it was current?
We killed KJ, like, it's hard to remember. I think it was our re-kill. I don't know. Maybe our kill, actually. We killed KJ 45 minutes before servers went live for Wrath.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. So
we either down or up or live. But yeah, we were up against the wall.
The real race to world last was Calabasas fighting.
But anyway, history repeats itself, apparently.
Yeah, I was still ahead of you back then as well, it sounds like. We both killed it post-nerf.
In progress and in age, right?
Yeah. Hey. I'm 28. All right.
It was a good raid, though.
Sunwell was an awesome raid. Laid the foundations. Then it moved into something a little easier in Wrath. But then we go to 2010, where Wrath really kicked it up.
Oh.
ICC was already out, but they did gated wings. And this is when, in 3.3.2, when Arthas was finally available to fight.
Oh, wait, so you would basically, so it was like the OG heroic week, like you would actually be able to do the entire raid prior to Arthas being unlocked?
Well, it was like the first, I don't know, 4 or 5 bosses. You did like one wing, yeah. And then the next week they unlocked another wing. There was like a plague wing, a blood wing, the frost, and the frost wing was the final one. With the healer boss and.
I mean, you know the fights, right? In the raid,
I mean, roughly, yeah. I mean, I've done the raid before, like for Mog.
Yes, I mean, you do Marigar, the Lich Lady, then I think it was the boat, like the Battle of Alliance of Horror or whatever. I think it stopped there, and then week 2 it opened up on.
No, it was the end boss of the wing. I can't remember his name.
Gramosh or Garrosh's son.
Yeah,
like
one of that guy. Yeah, the orc.
Did people not hate that it was like so staggered?
It was just different back then.
Yeah, it was just different. And also, like when you got to the end wing boss, he had like 5 attempts or something, 5 or 10 attempts. And then when the next wing unlocked, every end wing boss shared like the same pool of attempts. And so like when they unlocked the plague wing or whatever was next, it was like, okay, you have 20 attempts to kill Putricide and Sarfang or whatever his name was.
Yeah, so people are saying Deathbringer Sarfang, not Garrosh's son, but close enough, whatever. It's the same thing. That'll work.
Yeah, and then Lich King had limited attempts. And then at some point it was up to 50, and then for most guilds, 50 attempts on Lich King was like all you were getting into in a raid week, so it's kind of pointless.
I don't think anybody killed Lich King before the raid buffs began coming in, right? Or did they?
Maybe Paragon, or who was it back? It was Paragon, right?
I think it was Paragon and
Insidia.
Cydia, I think. Wasn't it Insidia, maybe?
Insidia's right. I think that was Paragon's world first. Usatanta.
Paragon did get world first on that boss, but I'd
have to go look. I don't know. Yeah, they did a stacking like the Threads of Fate or whatever.
Like Argent Dawn, like gain more ground in the Citadel, and it would give you more damage or something like that on the bosses. It was like Severed Strands essentially. Nobody killed it before the buff started coming in. It was that difficult, meaning it was super easy nowadays. But back then it was tough.
Yeah, it was a really hard boss.
Huh.
Yeah.
Brutal. Yeah, I didn't kill that one. I think we were on that boss for like 6 months. Like actually, it was insane.
Well, yeah, limited attempts. I'm sure it was like impossible to kill with only 12 attempts or whatever you
Well,
got.
no, by the time we were on it, it was like the nerf had built up. There were 50 attempts. I was in a pretty, a normal guild. We're server first, so we weren't terrible.
Server first, what realm?
Malorn.
Backwater Raiders or something?
Blackwater Raiders, yeah, sure. Like the whole population 20 realm.
Yeah,
Hey, Cams, I'm proud of you.
Fever Malorn. Thank you. Yeah, that was the thing. I actually missed, I hate this, I missed the kill because StarCraft came out that week, and I was so over pulling Lich King, I was just like, nah, I'm playing StarCraft. And then they killed it that week.
Dang, well, you were the issue then, Cams.
Yeah.
You were, Dallas. Let's say.
I still have burned into my brain the one time I blinked, I got Defile, I was running, I blinked, I turned around, big puddle in the raid. It's burned into, seared into me.
That was 15 years ago that
that I'm remembering that wipe, and that was the only Defile wipe. I was living bombing the Valkyrs, I was global locked, and I just did not blink in time. But now let's move forward a few more years to another great raid. When I dropped out of college, Throne of Thunder, patch 5.2.
You mean you didn't get your degree in World of Warcraft like me?
No, I did later, yes. But I dropped out of computer science college to do Throne of Thunder progression.
Woohoo! That was a good raid, apparently.
It was a fantastic raid.
Who were you raiding with at this point?
Exodus.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
I didn't play this patch.
Okay. Oh, you didn't do Throne of Thunder at all?
No, I quit playing in Kata after the first tier because Warlock was garbage, sort of like how we are now in retail. And we, excuse me, I started choking.
What?
Started choking. And his reaction was pretty good. I'm not going to lie.
Warlock was garbage. This is when Warlocks just came up.
The first tier of Kata, we were garbage, yeah.
Yeah. Well, this is Mr. Pandaria.
I quit the first tier of Kata.
Okay.
After clearing it out because we were garbage. Then I came back and like mid Pandaria, the guild that died. But this is after Throne. I didn't play Throne. Point being, Warlock was great in Throne. Yeah.
Oh, insane.
Right.
Got a nice crit trinket, unerring vision of Lei Shen. Very fun to play around. Yes, Throne of Thunder. I loved it. The Isle of Thunder came out also. All right. Now we go all the way up to 2017.
Oh, I remember this one.
Teddles can join the conversation. He's been invited to the party. The Broken Shore, 7.2.
This was 2017.
So, wait, was this actually the raid opening, or was this the Cathedral of Eternal Night opening? It looks like it's the raid. It looks like
that's Tumor Sargeras.
Yeah. This was, or it was at least when they added it. I don't know. Was there a delay on the raid when it first?
So I think 7.25 was maybe the raid, and I think that 7.2 was just the island with the Cathedral of Eternal Night.
Okay, I forgot that the raid was delayed if it was.
Well, all the raids I think were on the 0.5 patches for some reason in Legion.
Maybe.
Because they did some weird stuff with the 0.5s and the 0.0 patching. I remember that, and then they normalized it after Legion because people were too confused.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense, because we're confused now. But if Tomb of Sargeras came out around... No, actually, you're right, because Tomb of Sargeras was in the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, not in March. Yeah,
Tomb of Sargeras was like June or July, maybe?
Dang, that's ruining my streak, because it was like Throne of Thunder, Tomb of Sargeras, and we've got some other banger raids that came out around this time.
Raid.
But Cohen was released as the hardest dungeon of all time.
Cathedral, yeah.
Yeah, and they had to nerf it into the ground. There was multiple abilities that got 99% damage nerfs. It was so stupid.
I'm hearing Tomb of Sargeras was March 28th. Well, I swear I was...
I don't know when it was.
Summer.
All I know is that was the first tier I progged with my guild in. I'm still in that guild right now. I am old.
Yeah, that was my first progression tier with Limit, who are now Liquid. I joined in Nighthold Farm.
Wow.
I'd raided with some of the boys back in previous expansions. But we split paths. Then I came back in on my little hunter.
There you
and
go.
KJ was my first US first.
It says June
Very exciting.
20th, 2017 is when Tomb came out.
Okay.
I don't know.
Questioning my summer brain. Yep. All right, March 19th, 815. We got Crucible of Storms, another banger raid.
Oh, it had Unut in it. Yeah,
Unut.
Unut. Yeah, this is a crazy boss. Unut was impossible, I think, right? Wasn't it mathematically impossible in its initial form? Or just
Well, I mean,
think
it
it
ended up
did.
getting...
Maybe not mathematically, but it was just
So this is one of the most highly class stacked bosses of all time. So Pieces ended up killing this boss with, I think, 6 Ellie Shamans and like 4 Warlocks, but Method at the time were progging this boss with 11 Warlocks. It's actually the most class stacked fight of all time. It is crazy. I have a suspicion that this is the fight and the reason that we actually have raid buffs today.
It could be. Yeah,
True.
The beam would do. I remember the beam was like insane damage.
Yeah, crazy.
And Locks could take the dot and just drain life through it and keep someone alive. It was so insane. Really good fight,
Locks
too.
are just port, right?
Well, you poured it. If you got clipped, I got clipped a little bit. I could drain and keep myself alive.
Yeah.
But in general, like the fight was just really, really fun. But it favored Locks profile. Shaman had the Ankh trick where you can go to Cavern of Time and reset your Ankh every time.
So there was a helmet that you would actually have to pick up as Ellie Shaman, and you would have to like use the active ability on the helmet, but then it would give you a debuff to not let you use it again. But here's the thing. It didn't persist through death. So they were just, they would have to onk every single pull like Kalamazoo was saying. And so you would have a Warlock set up in the, if you needed more Warlocks even, you'd had a Warlock set up in the Caverns of Time to summon your Ellie Shaman to the Caverns of Time and have them reset their onk cooldown. And that's also the patch they made that stop working for some reason.
Yeah.
It still works in some abilities, but not many.
They weren't just good for that also. The funnel on that fight was crazy.
Yep.
Yeah.
The inevitable demise from the Warlocks, you just dot all the ads and just burn the boss. And then Ellie Shamans, you flame shock everything, just lava burst cannon.
I remember I had to Moonkin tank Restless Cabal. So there was 2 bosses active on Restless Cabal, and you didn't necessarily tank them. One of your Moonkins had one of them taunted, and it was casting on them over and over again. And I looked this up the other day, 60% of my initial progression kill in bear form on that boss. Literally just sitting there AFK in bear form. Not even like a classic mechanic. It was a BFA.
We actually invited you to our raid in that boss one week on Mythic. I remember we needed like a boomkin, and we invited Tettles to our raid, and then you didn't join.
Ooh,
you didn't come into the
time.
raid group, and Nether hates you ever since then.
Dude, I actually don't remember this at all.
I remember TTV Tettles joined, and Nether was like, ah. Then you left the group. I was like, oh, well, okay. Yep, I remember.
I did Moonkin tank that fight, though. I was good at it, too.
This is my first interaction with Tettles after the blockade shenanigans, so you weren't very high on my list of people that I liked at that point in time.
Well, that was before this. That was not March of 2019, but I did exploit Stormwall Blockade, and I would do it again.
True. That's after. How was that even a thing?
Well, you could use Warlock pets.
No,
Warlock's OP. You could use Warlock pets, and then you just soak all the mechanics on Stormwall Blockade. It was sick.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about the pet soaking.
You raided with Dolores at that point.
I did.
Yeah.
Now, something I've not forgotten about at all, February of, what year is it? 2022. Do you remember where you were? That's right. 9.2 came out.
Dude.
Sepulcher of the first ones. Another banger raid?
Non-flashbacks.
Bro, my entire March of 2022 is like actually erased from my life. I was literally stuck in like a gamer hotel in Germany, and Dratnos and I were working on inverted sleep schedules, and we didn't actually get to see the light of day. And I remember going home from that race on like March 26th or something like that, and I hadn't actually like seen the light in days, and I just remember leaving, and I was like so depressed. It was like
yeah,
it was crazy.
That was a rough tier.
This was a crazy tier. Would you guys say this is a banger raid?
I think that this is the greatest, or one of the greatest Race to World firsts of all time. Now I know what like Liquid ended up going home, and there was like a lot that was going on. But I think that just like from a viewership perspective,
it was
like a viewer production situation, I think that this is one of, if not the best Race to World first.
So many good bosses to watch from a viewer perspective. Halandras, Anduin, Rygalon, and Jailer hitting that secret phase. When Echo did was like, oh, this is insane. It was really good to watch, but yeah, it just took too long.
It was. And then I had to progress it after the fact. Normally, my guild takes, I don't know, probably like 7 weeks to actually finish an entire raid tier. That raid, we spent 13. We were in there forever.
Yeah, I missed the big raids. I had heard rumors that Amir Drasil was going to be like a 13-boss raid, and I was kind of sad it wasn't.
I wish, man.
But
I hope the next raid is like 11.2 for this expansion. I hope so, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I feel like thematically, the raids, I want like 10 boss raids, 10 or more, at least for like the end tier raids, the expansion. The 8 boss raids, they hit, but like I want some more like thematic bosses. Like I love that they had these cool like void bosses, but then you had like some other ones that were just cool, different thematics. And, like
yeah. So we should do a Hellfire Citadel, but you actually have the wings open up 1 week at a time, and we call it heroic.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, actually, that's normal week because there's no Mythic anymore. There's only Heroic. But anyways, yeah, I miss the big raids. I don't like the 8-boss raid. It feels kind of too standard. Like they've just kind of got a formula they're running back. So I hope we get like a 13er again.
I think 8's a good number, though, for like bosses in a raid. Like I think that anything less than that would actually feel like it's lacking. But I do feel like 8 is like almost the minimum at least for me. But I do think it's pretty good. I would love to see a larger raid, though. I think that, like you're saying, I don't know about 13. Like, just be straight up with you. 10, I love Hellfire Citadel. I don't know if we necessarily needed Zul'Harrak, Tyra Valari, in the raids just in general. Manaroth was a banger by himself.
All right, so we had Sunwell, Throne of Thunder, Crucible of Storms, Tomb of Sargeras, the patch that brought it, and then Sepulchre, the first ones, all around this time of year. And now we've got Liberation of Undermine. So it's a pretty good raid. Well, it's a good raid. It's a hard raid, but it's hard to judge without seeing the end boss, because that's kind of where all the decisions are made.
It's actually good. I mean, this is a long discussion we can even have tomorrow on stream. Yeah. I feel like I don't know where Liberation would land for me with the bosses we've killed so far. It's probably like upper mid tier, like B area. If it's like A plus, A, B, C, D, probably like upper B, B plus. But Gallywix can make or break this, right?
Yes.
I think for casting purposes, this is probably like my second or third favorite raid to cast.
Okay.
It's been good to cast, I think so.
I thought that Nerebar owned, and I thought that Sepulchre, the first one's also owned. But I think that this and Nerebar are like pretty close for me.
Yeah. I'm really excited for tomorrow. So let's not stay up too much later. Let's get some rest. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Thank you to Coinbase for sponsoring this show and doing these giveaways. TL.gg/Coinbase RWF. Code TeamLiquid20. Now, you're going to be shaking your hands for a while because we've got a lot of sponsors to thank who helped us put on this event. If you can sign up, follow these forms, TL.gg/RWFBTS. After you've signed up, you can win one of these jerseys. One left to win because it comes every Mythic boss kill. We've got one left. And then the grand prize to be flown out to hopefully a 13 boss raid where we're here for 4 weeks. And you can join us. I don't know for the length, but one lucky winner will get this. Very exciting. Got some apparel that's nice. Should we plug the apparel too?
Yeah, sure.
TL.gg/store. You can keep shaking.
No, I can't do it. You can plug the apparel though, yeah.
Cauldron of Carnage going on here. Oh, look at this.
Race.
Some
we
nice
have
mouse pads.
Yeah, I have new apparel this race too. Some swim trunks.
Yeah. Apparently, there's limited stock of last race's apparel also. So if you want some of that nice Queen Ansarek stuff that Kalamaz's showing off, I think they have like a custom world first version also. I just love that mouse pad over there. But yeah, head on over there to get some of that. And our charity partner, TL.gg/RWF-donate to the Pasadena Humane Society. We're raising money for animals. And thank you again to Coinbase and all. Oh, hold on. I hear there might be a musical performance coming up from Kalamazi.
What?
What is this?
Do you want to play me out while I thank the beautiful sponsors?
I don't.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much, Coinbase. Thank you, Honda. Thank you, Secret Lab. Thank you, Monster Energy. Thank you, Alienware. Thank you, MyBlue. Thank you, RaiderIO. Thank you, Wowhead. Thank you, Warcraft Logs. And thank you to the Dungeon Dojo. I'm Cams, joined by Kalamazi and Tettles. Tomorrow, join in for Automatic Jack and Aya in the morning for Rise and Race. And the Raiders will be doing some Gallywix. This is it. Boss dies this week.
Woo!
Good night.
You want to see something really cool?
Where else can we go?
This is the Honda Prologue. We can go anywhere we want.
The Alienware Pro wireless headset, it's become my main headset for anything WoW related. The battery life is actually a huge deal for us. One of the few esports that plays all day, every day. 4 days of gaming on one battery, that's insane.
This headset is everything that you can ever want and dream of. Without a doubt, this is the most comfortable headset that I've ever worn. I hate headsets that kind of like clamp on your ears or feel like they're pinning against the side of your head. This headset feels really, really good around my ears while I play.
The quality of sound from the Alienware Pro headset is perfect for shot calling in intense situations. At the race, there's a lot of distractions, and sometimes I just need to be able to hear what the guys are doing in the middle of a boss fight. So after using this headset, I don't think I can use a different headset again. This headset is what you need.
Check out how cool MyBlue is.
Mine's way better.
Think your blue can beat ours? Prove it. Complete quests to get points and customize your blue. Maybe you'll see it featured on the leaderboard. Join MyBlue now.
Listen, we need to have a conversation about apparel. The fact is, you signed a contract guaranteeing certain concessions. One of those being a spot on this broadcast.
Well, that's where I see things differently. Contract or no, I will not sell out for an impeccably designed and high-quality t-shirt.
I'm sorry you feel that way, but that's basically the nature of the race.
Maybe I'm wrong on this one, but for me, the race doesn't include selling cozy 100% cotton hoodies with graphics specifically designed for this race.
Oh, this is cozy.
Max, you know what I'm talking about, right?
It's like people only do the race to sell t-shirts. And that's just really sad.